So, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? I mean, you want to talk NBA free agency? Do you want to talk about the NBA draft? No, no, I've got a better thing to talk about. And it's more important because this is happening now. We're getting closer by the minute. Let's talk about the top 10 QBs for the 2025-2026 college football season. I think that's a fantastic topic to start off with. And of course, you know, the two of us here at the top. I couldn't do this without my co-host, without my partner in crime, Jackson Johnson from the Jacksonian, and of course myself, good old Austin. But we have an intruder tonight. We won't call him an intruder. We'll just say he's bypassing his vessel, so to speak. Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports is joining us tonight, which this is a special treat. This is like when Santa Claus comes to town. But Jeffrey is joining us tonight for this special occasion to do the top 10 quarterbacks. So me, Jackson, and Jeffrey will give you the rundowns on the top 10 quarterbacks. We'll give you our honorable mentions. We'll break down why we put the quarterbacks where we have them at and so much more. And we may even take your calls if you're nice to us. Maybe. We ain't going to make no promises on that. Just maybe. Just maybe. But how you fellas doing?
Doing great. Appreciate you letting me let me come on the show, you guys. It's going to be awesome, man. Top 10 quarterbacks for the 2025-2026 season. I didn't want to miss this. Like, you can't get much better than discussing the top 10 QBs. Yeah, head coaches are a big deal. I think you mentioned you two are going to be doing that as well. Maybe hopefully I can join for that too as well. It'd be crazy, but top 10 quarterbacks. The list, I compiled mine quickly. Y'all like took your time. I compiled mine really quickly. So I'm probably going to get burned on my list. I'm probably going to get laughed at. But you know what? I did my best, and it's going to have a lot of laughs. That's all I'll say.
So before we start, I want to lay some ground rules out. These are just our opinions. Mine, Jackson, Jeffries, it's solely our opinions on what we think are the top 10 QBs going into the year. We're going off the metrics that we use personally. So the metrics I use, how much experience do you have? Have you performed in big games? And what does your future draft stock look like? And can your team win a championship within your time period in college? Now, Jackson, Jeffrey, what was the metrics you all used? That way the audience has a better understanding of what they're looking at.
Jackson.
Well, I used a lot of how each of these quarterbacks had performed last season or the season before that in some cases, and how they performed in the big games. And some of them I use head-to-head. And you'll definitely see where I use the head-to-head in my top 10.
That was probably smart, Jackson, for you to do that. Since I compiled my list in about 17 minutes, it's mostly feels. I basically put mine together, some of it on raw emotion and just how I feel the quarterback is, whether they're, I think they're overrated, underrated. So it's definitely not a professional list. It's not a list I would publish on, like a major sports outlet. I definitely am not that confident in it, but I do think it's kind of funny. And some of them I actually believe, but I think most of them I pretty much believe, but it's not going to go with the consensus.
So, like I said, this is just our opinions. The metrics that we use kind of get y'all a better understanding. But so be kind to us. No need to attack anybody. We're all friends here, I think. These are just our opinions. Me, Jeffrey, and Jackson are obviously not going to agree. These are our opinions. We're not experts. So, with that being said, let's get into this list, shall we? And as Jeffrey has been so kind to add it. So we're starting off with Jackson's top 10 QBs for 2025-2026. And I'm going to go down the list, read everybody's, and then we'll each have a chance to explain to make it better. So Jackson has DJ Langway at number 1, Florida quarterback, entering sophomore year. Now, some people think this would be a great pick, and Jackson will explain more in a minute. But some people think this could be way too high. Number 2, Cade Klubnik, Clemson quarterback senior. Number 3, Drew Allar, Penn State quarterback senior. Number 4, Sam Levitt, Arizona State QB redshirt sophomore. Number 5, Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt QB senior. Number 6, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana QB redshirt junior. That's a shocker to a lot of people. And Jackson, I know you've got good reasons for doing this. I hope, unless you're high on the Indiana stock, which we'll get to. Number 7, Arch Manning, Texas QB redshirt sophomore. Number 8, Garrett Nussmeier, LSU QB redshirt senior. Number 9, Luke Altmaier, Illinois quarterback redshirt junior. Number 10, John Mateer, Oklahoma QB redshirt junior. And Jackson's honorable mentions are number 1, Lenore Sellers, South Carolina quarterback redshirt sophomore. Number 2, Kevin Jennings, SMU quarterback redshirt junior. Number 3, Taylor Green, Arkansas QB redshirt junior. Number 4, Brent Morton, Texas Tech QB redshirt senior. Number 5, Dylan Raiola, Nebraska QB sophomore. Number 6, Noah Fafita, Arizona QB redshirt junior. And these are honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list. We're so close. But Jackson, take us through your list here a little bit. Explain to us what your thinking was. What's going on in that crazy mind of yours?
Well, I was going to put Lenora Sellers in that top 10, but because of the fact Illinois beat South Carolina in their bowl game last season, I was like, you know what? I got to go with head-to-head. Sorry, Sellers. Got to put Altmaier in. But, yeah, I like what Altmaier is going to bring for 2025, because, I mean, he did pretty good in 2024. And I'm looking at Diego Pavia for number 5. I don't know why people don't have him in their top 10, because the fact of the matter is everybody talks about what he was doing at Vandy, but he was doing fantastic work over at New Mexico State. I mean, good grief. They had their best season ever in 2023 under Pavia and Jerry Kill. And when you got those two combined together, you got good things coming your way, especially if it's your team. Like the quarterback slate, I mean, it just kind of feels a little down this year compared to years past, which is why I've kind of got Drew Allar at number 3. Although I don't think Adam Lamparello is going to like that one bit. But
so I do have a question for you.
Okay,
Jackson, let me ask you. So, Fernando Mendoza, what sparked your attention to put him here at number 6? Did you like what you seen at Cal? What's the deal here?
like he's been their best quarterback. He was their best quarterback at Cal since Aaron Rodgers. That's good enough right there. I mean, like nobody could pull up stats like Fernando Mendoza was. And if he could rock and roll at Cal, you know he's going to rock and roll at Indiana, especially going into 2025. I can't wait to see what that dynamic head coach quarterback duo is going to look like in Bloomington. Lagway for number 1. I thought about the impact without Lagway, because look at where they were the first part of 2024. Mid, disastrous. Billy Napier's gone. He's going to be fired. But then Lagway takes over from Mertz. It was a humongous blessing in disguise. And when we saw Lagway getting hurt against Georgia, that impacted the Florida Gators in 2024 against Georgia. Then they got smacked off the face here by Texas. Everybody was like, "Oh well, you gave him that extension real quick." But then the winning streak happens. LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State. I mean, they were a 2-win Florida State team, but it is what it is. And then they beat Tulane. And I mean, I know it's not really anything to brag about, but I mean, they did spoil Ole Miss playoff hopes for 2024. And that makes me kind of think Florida can have a really big season with DJ Lagway at the helm, not just for 2025, but for 2026 as well.
I do have a big question for you, Jackson.
What's that?
I know you said head-to-head was a big reason for your rankings, and that's definitely understandable. But to me, when I look at Luke Altmaier and Lenore Sellers, I don't know necessarily if because Illinois won that should make Altmaier be above Sellers in my mind. I definitely understand why you went that route. But I mean, I don't really think most people have Luke Altmaier anywhere near the Heisman race, whereas Sellers is. You know, I'm not saying that Sellers is going to have a great year. I think he might even have a little bit worse of a year because I think South Carolina this season, kind of my hot take is that they're going to be worse than people were expecting. They're going to be worse than last year. But I think even with that, I feel like Sellers is going to have a better year than Altmaier. Again, I definitely understand why you ranked them where you did. And, you know, as people always say, I respect the list. You know, like I'm not respecting the list because mine's crazy. I know. But to me, I am shocked that Sellers isn't in there. You're welcome. You're welcome, Lucas. You're very welcome.
And Lucas, he does a fantastic job on South Carolina at the Voice College Football. Tune in to Gamecocks Live every Wednesday. South Carolina at the Voice College Football.
And here's the thing, too, Jackson. A couple more things I want to pick on. And like I said, too, feel free for you two to pick on my list because I'm going to pick on your alls as well because that's what the people want to see. But Jackson, Sam Leavitt, Arizona State at number 4. I think that's a little too high for me. And you'll see in my list, people are going to get mad, but I don't think he's as good as people give him credit for. I feel like he benefited from having a great running back in Cam Skattebo. And I feel like he's going to come back down to earth this year. I know everyone thinks Arizona State could repeat his Big 12 chance, but I think they're going to take a drastic step back this year, and I think they're going to come back down to earth. That's just my opinion. But, Jackson, what makes you believe he's one of the 4 best quarterbacks coming into this year, based off what you've seen?
I mean, if he could lead Arizona State to worst to first in 2024, along with Cam Skattebo, like you know that he can have things rocking and rolling again in 2025 and beyond. I'm looking forward to what this young man can bring for the Sun Devils. I mean, I don't know if Arizona State's going to be repeating, but they have a good chance to do so. I mean, they almost beat Texas, but they didn't. Sam Leavitt had a large part in that game.
That is fair. I do agree with Austin's point about Leavitt being benefited by Skattebo. I think that is true, but like I do think Leavitt's good though because I mean it's not like Arizona State has the best weapons in the world, and he did, you know, perform very well. As Clint Moses pointed out, he had big turnover issues 2 years ago. He's gotten a lot better, but the team was a lot better too. It's kind of hard to say because I mean a lot of these quarterbacks do benefit from talent around them. You know, like we always say, like, you know, Drew Allar, how much better would he be if he had great receivers? He doesn't really have great receivers, so I mean that is, you know, something that you could say that hurts him. I don't know. It's really interesting. I think Leavitt's good. I do. I think he's really good. But I do think 4 is a bit high. I will say that. And we do have a roll tide from the Godfather of the SEC. Appreciate you stopping by, Godfather of the SEC, bringing us with that roll tide. You'll be happy if you stick around and see my list because I didn't forget about, you know, our guy. I didn't forget about our guy.
Listen,
but, yeah.
Like Jeffrey, we can't take Jeffrey's list into merit. He's a home. He's biased. Like just ignore his list, guys. I mean, come on. This man is very biased. But in all seriousness, though, I will say this. Jackson, I do think Diego in the top 5, that, to me, is another one I kind of look at. Like, he had a great performance against Alabama. Not going to take that away from him. He's the reason Vandy went bowling. And that alone, I can see why you would do that. But let me ask you, Jackson, do you think he's a little too cocky, though? Because he gets a little too big for his britches. Because there's been games this year where he had some stinkers, like some stinkers. And it's just like top 5, I don't know if I'm ready to put him there yet. But go ahead, though, good buddy.
But yeah, I'm just kind of like Pavia did all right. He's been doing all right in New Mexico State. Did all right at Vandy. I think he's gonna have another strong season again this season. And Arch Manning, I mean, is that Manning last name? That's why he's at that. He's in that top 10. It's like, sorry, gotta have that Manning in there. Don't leave him as an honorable mention.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of freshman QBs though, like that we did not put on the list. And I know Manning's got experience, like he's played, a little bit, but like think about your Julian Sayans, right? Your Bryce Underwood. Those guys could be on this list if you're going off potential, right? But I'm not spoiling mine. We haven't got to me yet, but like mostly, if you look at Jackson's list, it's guys that have played. It's guys that are at least going to go out there and play. Like they're good quarterbacks. You have proven experience with them, and you don't necessarily have with those other guys who've never played. They might end up being, Bryce Underwood in 2 years might be the best quarterback in college football, but as of right now, we don't know. Julian Saying might be the best quarterback in college football, but as of right now, we don't know. And that's why they're not here. I mean, on Jackson's list and on a lot of people's list. Doesn't mean they're not going to be great. They just don't have any proven experience yet. Arch Manning, besides his name, he does have the fact that he's played a little bit.
And these are Jackson's honorable mentions. So, Jackson, explain to the people why these are your honorable mentions. What were they lacking? What made you say, you're close to being on my list, but just missed the cut?
Well,
take it away.
Dylan Raiola needs to have a really good season, like especially 2025, in order to get to the top 10. And again, I was gonna put Lenoris Sanders in that. I mean, not Sanders, Sellers in that top 10. But again, head to head between Illinois and South Carolina, it's why. I almost put him in that top 10, but not there. Kevin Jennings did have a great season in SMU's first season in the ACC. And I think he's going to have a great game. I was tempted to put fist pump Pitt Snipe Husker. And Kevin Jennings, I think, can have another good season for SMU. And if he's getting them to the ACC title game again, he's earned a top 5 spot, in my opinion. Taylor Green.
There you go.
I'm just kind of
there you go, Trojan fight.
I think he could get close to top 10 if he's getting Arkansas to a 9-win season, but no.
There we go.
But
there we go.
And we can look at Baron Morton. Now, Morton had a pretty good season in spite of despite Texas Tech being a disappointment. He did all right in the stats, of course. And Fafita, put him in that honorable mentions because Arizona had that disappointing season. Now, people that aren't on any of the honorable mentions are Lima Leva at UCLA. Because, I mean, I saw his performance against Arkansas. It was pitiful. I mean, Tennessee won in spite of Lima Leva. And Carson Beck, I mean, he just feels mid to me. He went to Miami for the poontang.
Jackson, this is a PG show. Just for that, Jackson, you're getting fined $50,000. I don't so know. Sorry.
I don't think Jackson can really handle that, Austin. That's a little steep.
Yeah.
Well, steep, man. It's a little harsh too, right? I mean, I will say, like you and Dan the other night were going pretty wild. All
right. Hey. I paid my pendants, okay?
You're good, man. You're good. I mean, I will say, look at the honorable mentions part. Sellers again, just completely shocked that he, is on the honorable mentions. That probably should be in the top 10 for most people. But again, I get why Jackson has him there. Kevin Jennings, that's a guy I totally forgot about. Honestly, after that garbage performance against State, I just kind of forgot about him. Another guy that I think like Morton, Texas Tech, Hoover at TCU is another guy kind of on that frame. He's a good player. Yeah. Hoover's a good player. There's just so many. I mean, my honorable mention, I'll list like when you get to my like a few more that are like right below because I can keep going. I mean, there's tons that are like right here, on that honorable mentions cusp line. Hoover's a guy that I kind of like. I think he's a solid player along with Morton. Fafita, man, that guy, he's done for, dude. I mean, he's short. People figured him out. They have no offense. I mean, it's never going to be the same. He
and the
thing
like
with Khalil Tate, it was a one-trick pony to me.
See, here's the thing with Kevin Jennings, and I think he's on all of our honorable mentions. I think, spoiler alert. The thing with him is he's really good against lesser opponents, but you saw in the high-pressure cooker against Penn State and Happy Valley, OMG. Dude folded like a lawn chair on Sunday morning going home from camping. Like, don't get me wrong, when he plays the Cows and he plays the smaller teams of the world that are on the same talent level, dude's a superstar. I mean, look at the ACC title game. Back to the wall, chips down. Everyone's thinking Clemson's gonna win. Clemson's gonna run away with this, and Kevin Jennings pulls off an amazing comeback to almost win it. And it's just like, if he would have just played like that the whole game, we could maybe forget about what he did in Happy Valley. But the fact that he had that bad first half against Clemson last year and then followed up with an absolutely dog poo-poo crap show in Happy Valley in the first round of the playoffs, it's hard to forget that. Like, there's a lot of upside to him. There really is. But when he's bad, he's bad. So him being second in the honor mentions, I don't disagree with it. Like, I think it's debatable. He's borderline top 10, I think. I really think you can make a case.
I think the issue is because of the fact that most people only remember him for those two games, and like he was only really good at like the very end of the Clemson game. So basically the majority of what people have seen from him has not been good. I mean, I don't know if that's because, I mean, like I said, again, I put my list together in 17 minutes, but I totally forgot about Kevin Jennings. Literally forgot he existed. Because I just, like, the last you remember him is that Penn State game. He was awful.
Yes.
The whole team was awful. I mean, you can't, I guess, blame it all on him, but it's not a bad mentions list. Taylon Green, I mean, he's not a bad player, but Arkansas kind of sucks. I mean, the
O-line.
It kind of just
the
sucks.
O-line. The thing I will come to in his defense is the O-line was injured half the year, and they played like two or three freshmen. It was just one of them. It was a no-win situation. So I feel like we could cut him a little slack when we talk about that situation. But Jeffrey, if you don't got any more arguments, you want to go on to the next list?
We can.
Or Jackson. Jackson, you want to give any final thoughts? I don't mean to rush you off, good buddy.
Oh man, I was just responding to a comment from Goffard of the SEC about his song that he's going to be played Thursday night.
Oh, the song with Dan is going to be epic, man. It is going to be.
Oh man.
Oh,
but yeah, like Nussmeier, I think Jeffrey brought up a good point about his completion percentage in one game, about how it was disastrous, and he's a little bit overhyped because the fact that everybody's like talking about him. If he was anywhere else besides LSU, he wouldn't even be talked about.
Garrett Nussmeier, to me, again, I'm not spoiling my list, but to me is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in college football. I mean, maybe I am putting way too much stock on the two games that he was bad. But to me, every time I turn on LSU, I watch a guy that throws multiple picks per game. His completion percentage is, and he's got talent around him, and it doesn't matter. And plus, like, his archetype, which I know, I hyped Curtis Workup last year, yes, in Indiana, all that stuff, but that type of player is dying in college football. A guy that just stands in the pocket and is looking at you. And we kind of figured out after the fact that Curtis Workup's playing on a torn ACL. So he can actually move a little bit, but he wasn't moving in Indiana. Whereas when you look at Nussmeier, the guy just don't move. He's a literal brick. You know what I'm saying? So when things break down, he just throws up the ball and he gets picked. I just don't think he's a great player in the modern era. I don't. And LSU as a whole, it drags them down because they're just bad. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I mean, he might end up going out there and being a Heisman finalist, but to me, I think he's overrated. And he needs to prove a lot more to me for me to think he's going to be really good and to be, you know, a top level quarterback. And I respect Jackson for having him an 8. That's a good spot because I've seen some people have him at like third or fourth, and I'm like, how? How is he third or fourth? What has he done? He's never shown greatness. Like the quarterbacks above on the list that Jackson has, most of them have shown, I don't even want to say greatness, but they've shown signs of being great. Langway has shown signs. Klubnik's shown signs. Allar's been darn good in games. Leavitt was great last year. Pavia at Vanderbilt, it's incredible what he's done. Mendoza at Cal was impressive. Arch Manning, it's Arch Manning. And then Garrett Nussmeier. It's like every quarterback ahead of him, there's a legitimate argument for that they're better. You know what I'm saying? To me, you can make a case.
That's fair. So when we get to my list, you're going to see where I have Nussmeier, and I've got proof to back it up. So, Jackson, if you don't have anything else, we can go on to my list. If you don't have anything else.
I'm satisfied, but one more thing about John Mater. I'm impressed with the job they did at Washington State, and that was enough for me to put him in that top 10 spot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, now this list is gonna get ready to knock your socks off. So, number 1, I have Drew Allar, Penn State quarterback senior. Number 2, Cade Klubnik, Clemson quarterback senior. Number 3, Lenore Sellers, South Carolina, QB redshirt sophomore. Number 4, Arch Manning, Texas quarterback redshirt sophomore. Garrett Nussmeier at 5, LSU quarterback redshirt senior. Avery Johnson, Kansas State QB sophomore at 6. John Mayer at 7, Oklahoma QB redshirt junior. Number 8, DJ Langway, Florida QB sophomore. Number 9, Haynes King, Georgia Tech QB junior. Number 10, Jalen Daniels, Kansas QB junior this year. So I'm obviously the biggest one is Drew Allar at number 1, right? I think that's the big elephant in the room in Nussmeier. So the reason why I have Nussmeier where I am, because I know that's probably what Jeffrey's going to go at first, or Jackson. Jeffrey, you talk about having those signature moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Nussmeier did have a signature moment last year against Ole Miss in overtime. Kyron Lacey back in the end zone to win it. He led them on a 6-play, I believe, 75-yard drive in overtime to win it against a very good Ole Miss team. And that, to me, if you watch that drive, how he picked apart the defense and he was dissecting, he had control of that from the start of that drive till the end. And that throw he made to Kyron Lacey over 2 defenders in the right corner of the sideline of the end zone was one of the best throws I've ever seen a quarterback throw under duress, and he made it. Garrett Nussmeier has potential to do great things. And I think LSU can win the SEC this year. And he's going to be the starting point for it all. And to me, he's shown that get up and I'm going to do this. But to your point, I will acknowledge, yes, you are both right, especially you, Jeffrey. Alabama, that was an awful game. Awful. I will acknowledge that. He's had a couple of them. Texas A&M, awful. Those were both bad games.
I'm sorry, Austin. I got to read this, man. The Godfather of the SEC, the beginning of his song, man, is you remember that old song, Don't Stand so close to me. It's like, but he's got don't stand so close to Dan. He's a stinky Ohio State fan. And then it goes rated X. Oh my gosh. You gotta love the Godfather, man. You gotta love the Godfather. I can't wait for the whole song, man. I can't wait.
Oh boy. Anywho, Drew Allar is my number one quarterback. I think here's the thing, and this is going to tick some people off when I say this. He reminds me of Aaron Rodgers, the way he throws the football. And here's what's going to happen. Here's the thing. The way he puts it in tight windows. There was a couple throws he made to Tyler Warren last year in that Boise State game. Those were incredibly tight windows he threw them into. And no other quarterback, I don't think, can make that throw. Just based off what I saw and the way that he's able to calm, cool, and collective in that pocket when he makes those throws. I think he's one of the best deep ball throwers. I think he might be one of the most complete quarterbacks that we're going to see this year. And here's another thing I want to add. Yes, I know people's going to make fun of him for that Notre Dame play. That is absolutely fine. I understand that. But if you look at his complete confidence of work, Drew Allar from head to toe, in my opinion, makes the best throws and can fit them in the most tight windows you've ever seen. Like I said, he reminds me a lot of Aaron Rodgers with his accuracy and his pinpoint and his ability to run the football, get downhill. He to me is the best quarterback going into this year. And I know a lot of people are saying, looking at DJ Langway at 8, B Bean is not too happy about that. Here's the thing with DJ. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think he could win Heisman. That's how good I think he is. But is he going to be healthy the full way? That's what concerns me. Kind of like Jalen Daniels down there. He's still really good when he's healthy and on the field, but when he's not, his team falters. Like, if that to me is the defining factors. Haynes King, you want to talk about legacy defining. Haynes King against Georgia, I think, played the best game I think I've ever seen him play. He played the gutsiest game on a broken rib. Jeffrey, we're not now. Put the dog back in the cage. He played on a broken rib and a bruised hand, and dude gutted it out. Made some of the best throws, best runs I've seen. And I watch a lot of Georgia Tech out here in ACC country, and to me, this dude is something special. And Jackson will tell you he's been the first big backer of Haynes King. He will tell you that from day one. I got on the train a little late. And then a lot of people may look and say Lenore Sellers at 3 might be a little high. I think Lenore Sellers, he's another guy that can win Heisman. I think South Carolina, this could be the year for them. They're dark horses in the SEC. So this is interesting. And I know some people are going to look at Arch. Arch might be too high. But in the games that we did see Arch play, he played really well. Now, they were against lesser competition, I know. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely got that Manning gene about him. Calm, cool, collectiveness about him. I like him. I think he's a really good quarterback. And then obviously Avery Johnson. Turnover prone at times, but once again, he's like a hybrid of Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen all put in one. He's got all the abilities, all the strengths, but his biggest weakness is turnovers. He gets that cleaned up. I think you can make a case he's the best quarterback in the Big 12, in my opinion. But yeah, and anywho.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat, man. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah,
dude. Like, what?
Don't look at the chat. Don't look at the chat.
Like, what is happening right now?
But do either of you have any thoughts or comments on my top 10?
I'll start with Avery Johnson at 6. Interesting, because he's kind of another guy that I forgot about. You know, a good year last year, but I feel like in big games, he kind of struggled. There was one game last year, and it's not coming to my mind because the Big 12, it's not just sticks in my head as hard as the Big 10 SEC games. But there was one game last year where he had a poor game, frankly. He had like 3 picks. I don't know. He didn't play well. And I remember him coming off that bowl performance the year prior. Like, he was expected to be like a top quarterback. And he was a former 5-star, all that. Like when Kansas State landed him, it was a big deal. That's why Will Howard left, right? I don't know. Like Avery Johnson just kind of underwhelmed me, but I do think he still has potential to be that good. So it's fair. It's fair to have him there. But he kind of underwhelmed. I thought he was going to do better. Allar, my issue with Allar is I just feel like he's just your prototypical guy that never reaches what he's capable of. That's what Allar seems to me. Like he's got all the talent in the world. He's a former 5-star. He's supposed to be the best of the best. And he just goes out there and he gives you good. And to me, that's just not number one. Number one is guys that outperform expectations. They outperform their rankings. Whereas Allar has consistently underwhelmed his ranking. He's underperformed his ranking. Now, on the rankings people for, saying that he was like the best QB in the class, that's on them, I guess. But never shown it to me. I do believe that it's part of Penn State's issues. They don't have enough talent for him at receiver. But I just don't think he's number one. I don't think he's ever done anything to show that he's been number one. But I understand why you have him there because really, who else are you going to put? I mean, Allar has the stats. He's got the wins. Yeah. Beating Ohio State.
So. Was it a conference game that Johnson didn't do so hot in, Jeffrey? Because
you talking about Avery Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a conference game. I think.
Yeah, because I think it was BYU because BYU.
Oh, that is a conference game because BYU's in the Big 12. Yeah, that game. He was horrid in that game. I remember that game because Kansas State was ranked pretty high in that game, and then they got. Well, didn't they lose by like 30?
Oh yeah,
they lost. It was like 44-11 or something. I don't know.
It was BYU's coming out party. It was BYU's coming out party.
Oh yeah.
And here's the thing too, and what I want to say is to recounter you, Jeffrey. When you look at Drew Allar play, though, when we talk about play on the field, does he? I know he makes stupid decisions at the wrong time. I'm not going to argue with anybody on that because the proof is in the pudding. But when you watch him make the throws, does that not look like someone that could be a starting quarterback on Sundays in the NFL? The way he puts those in tight windows. I mean, when you watch him, Jeffrey, do you not see the throws he makes? Do they not pop off the screen to you? Is what I'm trying to get at, or do you just think of the ones? I mean, does the mistakes does that stick in your head too much? Because I know some
the two things that pushed me away from Allar is the fact that he was ranked number one in the class and he's never lived up to it in my mind. And the second thing is that he makes key mistakes in games. The passes to Tyler Warren last year was just as much Tyler Warren to me as him. Tyler Warren's incredible. Bean's asking is Jackson sleeping right now. Oh my gosh, that's
no,
he's awake. He's a busy man, but he's awake. He's still with us. But
I'm just keeping an eye on the chat on my phone.
But to me, I just don't think that Allar has ever shown himself to be the best quarterback in college football. Not once, not ever. I don't think he ever has really had like a signature moment. Because every time they play in a big game, he just kind of isn't there. Honestly, his best game statistically that I've ever seen him play was that Oregon game, and they still lost. That was his best game, and that was the game that kind of made people be like, Allar's all right? But against underwhelmed. Against Ohio State, always he underwhelms. But I don't know necessarily if it's like if Franklin, he underwhelms a lot. Is it? And they don't have the receivers. But to me, like Allar, if he's that good, should be able to overcome, right? And he hasn't. He fades and he disappears in big games most of the time.
So I want to bring this up, not to harp on it, but here's the thing. Minnesota last year, they were down 20-3 in that game. And Drew Allar, single-handedly, the run game, Minnesota shut it down. Drew Allar, to me, put that team on his back and scored. He scored 2 touchdowns on his own, one through the air and one on the ground. That was a Drew Allar signature game. And I know you could say, well, that was Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota is not meant for the big time. But you cannot deny being down 20-3, and he still was able to take the leadership, take the responsibility, and be like, I'm going to bring us back in this game if it kills me. To me, that showed to me what he has guts, he has heart, he has determination, and he has drive. There is nothing that's going to stop him when it matters the most.
I mean, that's fair.
And listen,
but
I know being
like Minnesota just isn't a good team, and I think
he's
supposed to do that, right? He's supposed to lead them to a victory. They were favored by like 20. So.
Here's the thing. I understand where y'all are coming from. I'm not denying that. But being down 20-3 is nothing to scoff at. And I know people are going to look at it and say, yeah, it's Minnesota, Austin. He shouldn't be there in the first place. What I'm getting at, and this is with all due respect, it's when you dig yourself a hole, can you dig yourself out? Don't matter if it's good, bad, or ugly. No matter who the opponent is, can you dig yourself out? Can you pull yourself out of that hole, so to speak? And Drew Allar proved that he can on the biggest moments. He could have shrunk, and they could have lost that game. They really could have. But he didn't. He pulled through when it counted the most. And to me, he earned my respect that day. Yes, he makes bad decisions. But to me, like you said, that Oregon game against Minnesota, and I know he had a big game, against these smaller teams. And I understand that people will say, well, that's against smaller teams. We can't really count that now, can we? But we can in a way because he did what he was supposed to. He played like the quarterback we know him to be. And to me, that's what makes him number one to me, is he plays within his range of what he's supposed to do. He doesn't go out there and try to get you 6 touchdowns and get you 600 yards. He plays how he's supposed to. He's methodical-esque with it, so to speak.
Yeah, I just feel like none of that still screams number one, though. I mean, I get it. It's your list. Like I said, that's why I did to critique the list. I mean, like I said, y'all are going to eat into mine. And if we take callers later, mine's going to get butchered. It's going to get absolutely butchered. I already know. But I don't know. I mean, I've never watched a game with Drew Allar in it where I'm like, he's the best quarterback in college football. Now, with this list, again, we've got a lot of players that could be actually like elite. Bryce Underwood, Julian saying, but they haven't arrived yet. We'll see them in the fall. We'll see what they do. But when it comes to this list here, yeah, I mean, you can make a case for Allar to be number one, I guess, because these other guys aren't great either. None of them. Like, some of them have potential, like Langway, Arch, But to me, I still just look at Allar. I mean, we've had how many years now with him as a starting quarterback? 2. And
this will be his fourth. This will be his fourth. He's a senior.
Yeah, I know he's a senior, but I'm saying he started the last 2 years. He didn't start in 2022. So what I'm saying is, like, this will be his third year.
Yes. It'll be his third full year.
And when you look at his stats last 2 years, he had the 25 touchdown, 2 pick season in 2023, but his completion percentage was under 60%, and he was only averaging 6 yards a throw. Then this past year, he upped it to 3,300 yards, 6% completion percentage, 8 yards a thing. That's a lot better, but 24 touchdowns and 8 picks. So it's like he upped his yards, but went up big. I don't know. I mean, he's not bad. I mean, he is not a bad quarterback. I just don't think he's.
And see, here's the thing too.
Say Jackson.
In Jackson.
Oh.
Well, what I want to say too is this, and might make a video out of this, but Drew Allar, this might be the most debatable one on any of our list. This might be the only, we may look back at this and say that was a complete mess, but
boy, there he is. There he is. He's still up. He's still up. Yeah, well, we might do a call in a little bit, Dan. We got to get to Austin's honorable mentions and then my list. But yeah, there he is.
Before we get to our top pick, Here are a few honorable mentions.
Yes. My honorable mentions: number 1, Kevin Jennings, SMU redshirt junior. Number 2, Miller Moss, Louisville QB junior. Number 3, Carson Beck, Miami senior. Dylan Rayola, Nebraska QB sophomore.
Not a bad
Or
list, I don't think.
Bryce Underwood, QB, Michigan freshman. Number 6, Arizona QB redshirt junior, Noah Fafita. Now, here's the thing with Bryce Underwood. We have no clue what this guy's going to be, but I'm basing it off potential, partly.
Absolutely.
And what I'm hearing about Bryce Underwood is he's going to be great. Some Michigan fans think he's going to be the best quarterback in college football by midseason. So, and I've seen a couple of his plays in high school. He's a good quarterback. I do. I think he's got potential, but I put him way down there on the honorable mention because we don't know anything about him. It's like marrying a woman you don't know nothing about. Like, you look pretty, but we don't know nothing about you, so we're not just going to marry you right off the bat. But
as Anna said in Frozen, or Elsa, I mean, not Anna was the dumb one. Elsa said, "You don't marry someone you just met. All right, you just don't do that. You know, shoe size, right?"
But Carson Beck, Miami, I know some people may think that's a travesty, but him in the honorable mentions, I like. He's another one, turnover prone, but he's a big body guy. He could run, and he's got a nice little arm. I won't say he's got the greatest, but it's serviceable. And against Tennessee was one of the best games I watched him play all year. Like, yeah, he's had a lot of bad games, but his best games to me outweigh his bad, in my opinion. But
I'm glad for Beck's sake he's not going against Ohio State, because it'd get ugly for him, and I'm glad he's not going against Texas or a few other people. So it'd be ugly.
And Miller Moss, I know some people may think that's controversial because he's former USC Louisville guy. I will say with Miller Moss, yeah, there was a lot of bad at USC, but Miller Moss also had a lot of great. The game against LSU, Miller Moss showed a lot of toughness and guts that game. The bowl game against, of course, the team he's with now. Funny, ironically, huh? 6 touchdowns, 1 pick. Phenomenal. Off the charts. Fantastic. Miller Moss is got potential to be great. And I think under Jeff Brom, we're going to see that because Jeff Brom knows how to be a QB whisperer. Look at Tyler Shuck. Jeffrey, you were one of the biggest critiques of that. You said Tyler Shuck
How did
is
he
injury
get
prone.
drafted
This
in the
is going to
second
be bad.
round, though? How did he get drafted in the second round, though? He did well,
Jeffrey,
but I don't know how that happened.
Jeffrey, I don't know how much of Louisville you watch, but Jeff Brom did wonders with him. His picks and turnovers were turned down. He stayed healthy. We ran the ball. Like, I'm telling you, Miller Moss' stock is going to skyrocket after this year. And I know that may be biased, but it's not as biased as what year's going to be coming up here in a second. But
I honestly wasn't that bad, man. I was not that bad with my bias. It was not that.
Jeffrey, listen, we don't like when you lie to yourself. That's not healthy. Let's not do that. But
well, the audience will just have to see my list. They will determine whether my list is crap or not.
Okay, but any critiques on my honorable mentions?
I think Carson Beck is bad. So there you go with that. And the rest of it is cool. I mean, it's not terrible. I will say Fafita, I think his days are over being good because people figured out how to stop him. Raiola has potential, but he really hasn't realized it. And Kevin Jennings, again, a guy that totally slipped my mind. Like he didn't do well in the big game, so you kind of made me forget about him. And Miller Moss, I think that if I think if Jeff Brom, can pull the QB whisper again, he could be good, but we'll see. Only time will tell. It make Lincoln Riley look even worse.
Oh man.
So Jackson, do you have any critiques, or can we go to Jeffrey's?
Oh, we can go to Jeffrey's, but before we get to Jeffrey's list, Dan the Diesel Freak says, I'm the only person who told Jackson Jeffrey that Georgia is going to beat the living hell out of Alabama.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Dan. Just like I told you the other night. We'll see. We'll see. Season's far away right now.
Oh my god!
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for people to critique my list, man. Let's go.
So, Jeffrey's top 10 is top 10. Number 1, DJ Langway, Florida QB sophomore. Number 2, Kate Klubnik, Clemson QB senior. Number 3, Lenore Sellers, South Carolina QB redshirt sophomore. Number 4, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana quarterback redshirt junior. Now you can't tell me looking at this list that's not biased. I mean, he's behind Drew Allar. What the flip? Anywho, I'm about ready to have words with Jeffrey after this. Number 5, Drew Allar, Penn State QB senior. That's just disrespectful, Jeffrey. I ought to kick you off this platform for that. My bias is coming out. Number 6, Sam Levitt, Arizona State QB redshirt sophomore. Number 7, John Mateer, Oklahoma QB redshirt junior. Haynes King, Georgia Tech QB junior. Number 9, Arch Manning, Texas QB redshirt sophomore. Number 10, Avery Johnson, Kansas State QB sophomore. So, Jeffrey, since Jackson and me had the honors of explaining, we're going to do you a solid as well and explain why you were wrong and why Drew Allar should not be behind Fernando Mendoza. Anyway,
now I put my list together in 17 minutes. All right, so because it was not expected I was going to be on this show tonight. So I appreciate Jackson also for letting me be on the show. But I will say that I put this list together really, really, really quickly. So it's not, sure, it could be absolute dog crap and it sucks. That's okay. But here are my reasonings for 17 minutes of why I put this together. Now, I'm not actually going to ramble for 17 minutes, but you know what I'm saying. DJ Langway, I felt like Langway mostly lived up to his potential last year. He getting hurt and then coming back. I mean, Georgia was going down. Like they were going, right? And then he gets hurt and then they lose. Florida loses. I felt like Langway saved Napier. He saved Napier. And, like to me, I think, you look at the other quarterbacks on this list, how many of them saved a coach's job? Like, how many of them saved a coach's job? Like, legitimately. I mean, you could say maybe Sellers, I guess, with Beamer. Beamer was a little in trouble. I don't really think the Georgia Tech coach ever was in big trouble, but that's fair. But I feel like DJ Langway was the most impressive what he did with that schedule. He had around him. It wasn't the best. Like taking over from Mertz and just running with it. Like Florida was actually really at the end of the season, and he could be, if he stays healthy, the best quarterback in college football next season, in my opinion. Hey, Klubnik's
that's the key.
Clemson.
Not to cut you off, Jeffrey. Apologize, but that's the key right there. If he's healthy, go ahead.
Absolutely, but I mean, you kind of really can't base a ranking off health, I guess, because if you do that, then some of
that's true.
List, but that's fair. I agree with you. It makes sense.
Okay, go ahead.
He, to me, looking at his career, I mean, he's progressively gotten better. To me, more so Allar has. He's on an upward trajectory more so. Clemson's looking really good this year. I'm not like massively happy that I have him at 2, but again, when looking at these QBs this year, how many can you really put ahead of them? There's not that many.
That's true.
So he's good. He has talent. I don't know. I think 2's fair. I mean, it's like a consensus that he's going to be top 3 to 4. I mean, there's really no one you can put ahead of him. And I like Klubnik better than the guys that are below him. So, I mean, it's not a great conversation, but that's just kind of my feeling on it.
And B Bean says, I think all 3 of y'all had Cade at 2. We all did, yeah. Me, Jeffrey, and Jackson are all in consensus. Cade's number 2.
So Sellers at 3 at South Carolina. Sellers was really good last year. And kind of like Langway at Florida, pretty much secured Beamer. Like Beamer's in great shape right now. South Carolina's going to be ranked coming into the season. I'm worried about South Carolina, though, not for Sellers, but because of their defense. I think their defense, some people have said their defense is going to be pretty okay next year. I don't think so. I think their defense is going to be way worse.
Mhm.
So if South Carolina could go 7-5, 6-6 next year, and Sellers could still do well. I don't think Sellers is going to be the problem. I think he's going to do well. I don't think he's really going to improve all that much. For some reason, I don't really see a lot of areas of growth in Sellers. I think that he's really good, but he's going to just kind of give you another season like he had last year. I don't know why I'm seeing that. I just maybe he has another gear in him, but I think 3 is fair. I think he's going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be the best in college football. Fernando Mendoza, my argument for Fernando Mendoza at Indiana, it's not even biased, honestly, I swear. The reason I have him at 4 is because he was very good at Cal last year, and Cal had the worst offensive line in college football in the Power 4, Power 5, whatever, right? He got sacked 50 last year and somehow still ran for 200 yards. I don't even know how it's possible when he's not even a running quarterback, but he was running for his life all the time, right? So he got sacked 50 times, which is more than any other quarterback in the Power 4. And now he's going to a team in Indiana that just had a quarterback that had a torn ACL. And he finished 6th in the Heisman voting. I mean, think about that. So Mendoza is basically Curtis Rourke, but better because he can actually move. And he can throw the ball all over the He throws, medium throws, short throws. He's good. Like, saw his throws at Cal. He's legitimately good. I mean, Jaden Ott didn't even have the greatest year last year because Cal's O-line was so bad. You didn't hear nothing about him. That's why he's gone. That's why he went to Oklahoma. So to me, I think what Mendoza did at Cal was so darn impressive and is the only reason Wilcox still has a job. So Wilcox, you lost your QB, you're getting fired soon. So that's why I have Mendoza at number 4. Allers at 5 because, again, number 1 QB in his recruiting class, and he's never impressed to the point where he's the best quarterback in college football. So to me, that makes it worse for him because, like, the quarterbacks ahead of him, like Sellers, overperformed expectations. Klubnik and Langway have kind of met expectations. Mendoza has exceeded expectations. Allar has underperformed for his college career. That's why I have him at 5. Sam Levitt at 6. He was great last year. Now, Scatterbo being gone, it's going to be interesting. I am a little concerned about that, but Sam Levitt was really darn good at a team that was not expected to be anything last year. Didn't make a lot of mistakes. He showed up in games, played great against Texas. Mostly, I like him. I think he's a good player. Mateer at 7, Washington State. He put up insane stats. And Oklahoma, they're a better football team. So if he can translate that to the SEC, then he'll be good. Maybe high on him. Looking at it again, maybe he could have been a bit lower. But I mean, his stats were really good at Washington State. I know they didn't play anybody, but I feel like it can be translatable. Oklahoma has brought in some transfers. I mean, they're supposedly going to be a little bit better. I don't know. I think Mateer has potential to be good. Haynes King, I have at 8 because Haynes King is just a dude. The guy was beat up last year beyond belief. The Georgia game, they should have won. I mean, the guy got knocked in the head. He got basically almost knocked out, and he was still fighting out there. I like Haynes King. He's just an underrated dude. I remember him at A&M, that garbage team that he was playing for back then under Jimbo Fisher, and he was man. He was giving everything he had. He's still giving everything he has. I like Haynes King. I think he's an underrated player. He's almost a guy I completely forgot about too. But I'm like, yeah, he's back. He's back in college football. Yeah, Haynes King, good player at a school that's hard to win at. Arch Manning at 9 because he hasn't done anything yet. He hasn't. I mean, he's come in. He's done. He's basically been back up like 98% of the time, and then when he's come in, it's been against nobody, and he's done the job. So do we know if he's legit? Can he go and play against Ohio State? Can he go and play against the Georgias of the SEC? I want to see that. If he could do that and win some of those games, Arch Manning will move up my list big time next season. But right now at number 9, we need to see what Arch Manning can do. And then 10, Avery Johnson, because Avery Johnson, kind of like Allar, came in with a lot of hype, a lot of potential, and he's kind of underperformed. I was expecting more from him. After that bowl performance a year and a half ago, he didn't do all that well last year. He had a couple of good games, but that BYU game was hot trash, and he had a lot of other bad games. So I don't know. To me, I think Avery Johnson has still the potential to move up the list, But as of right now, he really hasn't done anything to showcase that he's any better than
10. Mm-hmm. I will say for me, and Dave here makes a great point. He says, I'm of the opinion Allar is being underrated everywhere. Numbers don't lie. He's a dude. And here's the thing, too. That's my only argument with this list, Jeffrey, is I understand the points you're coming from. And this is what makes this great, is because the dialogue. You think Allar is top 5, and that's is good. I have him at number 1. And here's the thing, Jeffrey. I understand what you said about Mendoza. To me, yes, I've watched him play a little bit at Cal. I think he's a good quarterback. But is he a quarterback that can lead Indiana to where they want to go? Is what I want to know. Do you think in your heart of hearts, Jeffrey, Fernando Mendoza can lead Indiana to 9-10 wins?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I mean, the thing is that I just can't get out of my head that Curtis Rourke played on an ACL injury. And they did what they did. I know the schedule's harder, but if Indiana goes 8-4, it's like I have Sellers at 3, and my prediction for South Carolina is not good next year. I'm not going to spoil it because I'm going to release the video later. But, like, I don't have South Carolina being all that good next year, but I still have Sellers being high. It's not about how good the team is. That's what I was trying to say with Jackson when he had Altmaier over Sellers. Sellers is way better than Altmaier. It's not even close. But Illinois beat him. I don't care if Indiana goes 7-5, 8-4 next year. The schedule's tough. But Mendoza is going to be the reason they do, because of the fact if he can put up 16 touchdowns, 6 picks, and 3,000 yards at Cal with the worst offensive line in the country, I can easily see him putting up 25 touchdowns and 5 picks this season and 3,500 yards, just like Curtis Rourke did, which is better than Allar with less talent. And if he does that, then my pick of having him at 4 is completely justifiable.
So here's the thing, Jeffrey. I want to bring this point up. You talk about it's not about the team you have around you, but it is the quarterback's job to elevate the team. And here's what I mean by that. When we put this list together, how I did mine, does this quarterback elevate their team? And to me, I think Indiana was going to be good regardless, in my opinion, whether Mendoza was there or not, because their defense is going to be all world again, I think. And their offense may take a step back, but it's the job of the quarterback to elevate their offense. You have to have a good QB to
win in the Big Ten to me. And I am worried about Mendoza too, because if he gets hurt, Indiana's got no backups, man. Like none. They have none. They had Tyler Cherry, but he's injured. They got nobody. So Mendoza has to stay healthy for Indiana to be good. They have no backups. So yeah, he is going to be a major reason why they're going to be good, because if he gets hurt, then I don't think there's anything that Cignetti can do.
And here's the thing too, we'll get to your honorable mentions, but the QB's job is to elevate the team. They are the ones that are supposed to put them on their back. Lenore Sellers at number 3. He's another guy I looked at as what he did for South Carolina was tremendous. He elevated them. He took them to the next stratosphere. Drew Allar, he takes Penn State to the next stratosphere. Haynes King takes Georgia Tech to the next stratosphere. John Mateer, we'll wait and see on that. Arch Manning seemed to take them to the next tier. Avery Johnson, he takes Kansas State to the next level. Every quarterback on our list, except maybe Leavitt and Mendoza to me, on your list, Jeffrey, are the only 2 I can't get with. I just can't. When I look at them, I just can't get with them. And that's just my personal opinion.
I think Mendoza made Cal better, but again, it's your opinion. I understand that. Kind of like with what I said with yours with Allar and Jackson with Altmaier and Sellers. I mean, it's your opinion. It's fair. I just feel like Mendoza, without him, Cal wouldn't have won 2 games last year. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. I think he elevated a really crappy team to actually be like less crap. I mean, they were horrible, man. Cal's bad. Justin Wilcox should be fired. Okay, he's not good. And I understand that it's tough to recruit there, man. I get it, but you're in the ACC. Teams suck. Like, dude, you had Jaden Ott and Mendoza, and you can't even do anything. Because like I said, without Mendoza and without Ott, they don't even win 6 games. Like I said, they're going 2-10. That's how bad they were. The team was bad. I can't even name you one other player on their team. Like they were horrible, man. And that's why they both left. I mean, Mendoza will be in a body bag this year. You know, that's why he transferred. I mean, and think about it. Georgia wanted him. That's another thing. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but Georgia wanted him. But I guess, you know, maybe Mendoza was looking at it, Gunnar Stockton, to be some competition, whatever. I don't know what Georgia was willing to offer him in NIL, but I know that it was a heavy battle between Georgia and Indiana. And I thought we were going to lose, and I was worried because most of the quarterbacks were coming off the list. And Signetti, he went all in with Mendoza. Also, his younger brother, Alberto Mendoza, is a backup QB, ironically, at Indiana, too. I don't know. Like I said, I could be completely wrong with Mendoza. But, I mean, some people have even tabbed him as a first-round draft pick. So, there's other people that believe in him.
And Dave's here makes a comment saying we can't judge Arch Manning on whether or not he says if we could pull it up here, he says Arch Manning taking them to the next level isn't fair as to whether or not he's good. I would disagree with that, and here's why. Because you've seen the differences with Arch and Quentin. Yes, Quentin got them to where they eventually made it, which was a loss to Ohio State in the semis. But when Arch stepped on that field, Texas almost had a brand new offense. The team almost seemed like they played better. Even Texas fans, some were even saying Arch might be the one, might replace Quentin Ewers halfway through the year. That's how much of a fresh life he brought to the team. And yes,
Steve Sarkisian
and I know people are
had a big problem with deciding between those two. You know, it was legitimate. It was legit that he had to decide. But if he puts in Arch Manning last year, and Arch Manning gets destroyed in the college football playoff, okay, and I understand it's an if. We never saw it, but if he puts Arch Manning in and they get destroyed, then you would have had every single Texas fan and their mother saying that Quinn Ewers, they should have kept Quinn Ewers. He had the experience. He threw him in too early. But since he didn't, and they lost, they were like, should have put an Arch. He had a legitimate problem on him. What would we do in that situation? You've got a freshman who has a last name, and you've got Ewers who has been in college for 4 or 5 years. That you at least know that he's going to give you a B+ performance. Maybe Arch has A potential, but he doesn't have A experience. And that's why he's playing this year. I think that Sark made the right decision playing Quinn Ewers the rest of the way when he came back.
And
that's my opinion.
And here's the thing, just to his comment, that's why I was bringing that up, because I was talking about these quarterbacks on our list. I look at it as, can you elevate your team? Can you take them to the next stratosphere? And I'm not saying Arch is going to win a national title at Texas. That's not what I'm saying. But Quinn Ewers, did they hit their ceiling at Texas with him at QB? Some Texas fans are in the opinion, like you said, Jeffrey, that maybe they did. Some are saying, no, you got to ride it out. But you look at Arch, when he came in, yes, against lesser competition, Mississippi State was terribly awful. And once again, I'm going to stress that, like you did with Minnesota, we have to look at it as, who are you playing? But when he came in, the Texas offense started humming better. Arch Manning brought a fresh new life. He had that calm poise about him. And it just seemed like Texas went from all of a sudden a really good team to potential higher than anyone ever realized they could get, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. Some people may disagree with me on that. Like you may disagree with me, but that's what I see when I talk about quarterbacks and what I seen when Arch came on the field.
It's fair. I mean, like I said, I put him on the list because if I didn't put him on the list, people would have gone crazy. So I put him on the list. But if his last name was not Manning, he would not be on the list for me at all, and for anybody. I mean, where's Underwood and saying? I mean, again, all Arch Manning has like 2 games experience. He's practically a freshman, just like those guys, but they're not on the list. They haven't played. Arch Manning has not done anything to really warrant being on any list. I mean, like I said, if he goes out there and he knocks off Ohio State in week 1, then I will be the first person on social media saying that Arch Manning, like, for one game, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And that he might just well live up to that last name. But I cannot say that right now on July 1st, 2025, that he is. Because to me, other than his last name, no one would even be hyping him up.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything yet. I put him at non-beam because I kind of had to. Like, if you do not put Arch Manning on a top 10 list, then it just looks terrible. You're gonna have everybody coming after you, man. I mean, it's just the way it is. Like, I would have put him in honorable mentions, but I mean, you at least have something. That was the only thing I could justify having him on number 9, is that at least we saw him in limited time, and he wasn't bad. It's just he wasn't this like savior that some Texas fans were calling for either. It's not like he was that great. If he was that great, then yeah, Quinn Ewers would have been replaced. But I think Sark made the right decision.
That's the same reason why I put Arch at 7th, because of what you stated. You know, it's like, if you don't have Arch Manning in the top 10, it's kind of ridiculous.
Well, I kind of did. I mean, I put him at 9, but I appreciate it though. I mean, it's not like I haven't sold out on it. It's just I just put Arch Manning at 9 to just be like, whatever, you know. All right. Jace is saying, if you don't believe in it, the thing is, it's not that I don't believe that he can be great. It's that he hasn't shown me that he's great yet. I don't think he's gonna be bad. So I have him at 9. I mean, I don't completely think like it's terrible to put him there. It's just, if it wasn't for his last name, I'd probably have him like 11th or 12th. You know what I'm saying? But he's there because Manning is Manning. Everybody's talking about the guy. Everybody has him at number 1 or number 2 on the list, and those people are nuts. He's not number 1 or number 2 yet until he proves it. So 9 is fair to me. Honorable mentions. I got Nussmeier at okay. If you want to read them out, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, you're taking my spot. Come on, Jeffrey. That's a $10,000 fine. How dare you? Gosh. You see, I work with unprofessional people here, guys. I put up with these people. Anywho.
Sorry, I was just ready to go. Sorry, I kind of done with Manning. I don't want to talk about him anymore. Just kind of want to move on.
I got you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I got it. It's like the ex-girlfriend that won't leave you alone. We got it. But Garrett Nussmeier, LSU quarterback, redshirt senior. Number 2, Luke Altmaier, Illinois QB, redshirt junior. Number 3, Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt quarterback, senior. Number 4, Ty Simpson, Alabama quarterback, redshirt junior. Number 5, Mil Moss, Louisville QB, junior. Now listen, Jeffrey, out of everybody on this honorable mention, you're going to have to explain this Ty Simpson one, because that's probably going to be the one you're going to get attacked for here in a minute. So take it away.
If you go back up, I kind of want to talk about Nussmeier. I'll get to Simpson if you don't mind. I want to talk about Nussmeier. I have Nussmeier outside the top 10, and I'm honestly shocked. It just shows where people's interest lies. It's all about the fame, man. It's all about the Manning. Okay, and then Simpson's like, ooh, Ty Simpson, right? Alabama, why is he there? Here's the thing. Garrett Nussmeier. All right, Garrett Nussmeier. I've watched this dude in multiple games be complete garbage. All right, I've seen him be garbage in like 3 games. And to me, when you look at the top 10 list above, that we all have, excluding Nussmeier because I don't have him there, all the quarterbacks do not have 3 games where they're complete garbage. They don't. Not even Manning, because it's not like he's been garbage in 3 games. Nussmeier has been absolute garbage in 3 games. And to me, that's why I have him in the honorable mentions. Is he probably a top 10 quarterback at the end of the day statistically this season? Probably. But LSU sure as heck ain't going to be a top 10 team. And I know that I said that I don't rank QBs based off their team, but you talk about Austin saying QBs that elevate their team. Nussmeier does not elevate his team. He just doesn't. I mean, I know the Ole Miss game, he survived it, but there were other games where he did not revive anything. It was just bad. Multiple games with 3 picks or 2 picks. Terrible completion percentage.
I mean, you shouldn't be bragging about beating Baylor in the Texas Bowl. You're not supposed
He's just, to me, I just think Garrett Nussmeier is very overrated. I think he's very overrated. I don't think he's done anything to really prove that he's a top 10 quarterback.
So, I want to take a TV timeout because I want to defend him. And I know Jeffrey's going to get annoyed with this, but Jeffrey, when you look at Nussmeier, yes, he had some bad games. No one's really denying that. But here's the thing, though. When Nussmeier is playing his best football, you can make a case he's one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. That's how good he is, in my opinion. And that Ole Miss drive last year showed you he's got it. He just doesn't always show it, whatever it is. The Kyron Lacey touchdown, that's one of the best throws. You're telling me another quarterback could have made that throw, other than maybe Drew Allar or maybe a Langway. Are you telling me another quarterback could have made that throw? Like I respect your opinion, Jeffrey. Here, I do. I respect what you're saying, but I think you're giving him not enough credit for the good he's done. And you tell me, with LSU, the way that their defense was last year, it was improved, but it was still not the LSU defense.
The Brian Kelly problem.
But here's the thing, though. Nussmeier and that offense won them a lot of games, believe it or not. So you want to give him flack. And I know Jackson, when we do the top 10 head coaches, is going to rag on BK. So, Jackson, you're going to have fun with that one. But to me, Garrett Nussmeier makes LSU a contender in the SEC, and his offense. Like, I think this is one, Jeffrey, we may have to agree to disagree on.
Sure. I mean, I can't really say a whole lot to really defend that. I mean, I get it. The stats are there. 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns. 12 picks is high. It is. And the nature of the picks, that's not NFL. Most of the quarterbacks that are above will be in the NFL on my list. They will be in the NFL. Like, probably over half of them. When I look at Nussmeier, I just see a guy that he's big and he can throw the ball all over the place, but there's no consistency. Again, one pass he's making to Kyron Lacey that's the best in football, and then the next he's throwing picks all over the place. You know, that's why as time went on, Jalen Milroe got soured upon because he would do that this past season. You don't rate quarterbacks highly that throw dumb passes that a kindergartner would throw. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do that. And plus, in this modern day of college football, he's not good as like a dual threat. He just sits there. He doesn't move at all. It's not even about running down the field. Like, he can't extend plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just when things break down and he has to panics, he just chucks the ball up and throws stupid picks. I don't know. To me, I just no. You're not irritating me. It's just this is what this is for. You're good, Austin. You're fine. Like you don't have to worry about it. It's just I don't. Sometimes it's hard to really defend because I get why people have the guy hired. This isn't a great year for QBs until it will be. I mean, that's why this is a preseason list. Everybody makes preseason lists. I mean, we could revisit this after the season. And Garrett Nussmeier, I might have him at 4 or 3. And people, I thought Jeffrey couldn't stand Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier could absolutely prove me wrong. If he does, then I'll reevaluate him. People can be reevaluated. Jalen Daniels, if we had done this list 2 years ago, I would have had Jalen Daniels at like 4 or 5. I thought he was great. He's gone. I don't even have him on the list. He's gone. Does anybody remember him? Gone. Jalen Daniels is history. Why? Because he's not the same player anymore. Noah Fafita, gone. Not on my list. He used to be good. I like the guy. I was like, man, this little short dude, he's killing this little like him and McMillan. It's great. Gone. Not on my list anymore. Why? Because he's not the same player anymore. Garrett Nussmeier can change. If Garrett Nussmeier goes out there this season, throws 30-plus touchdowns and less than 10 picks, and leads LSU to 9-10 wins, and he's much more impressive, I'll move him up. But as of right now, I do not have him in the top 10. And that's just the way I feel. I could be completely wrong. Everybody else that has him high could be right. And if they are and I'm wrong, I'll readjust. And I'll move them up if we ever do this again. You know, if Nussmeier's ever in a ranking again. But as of right now, I just don't see it. I think the 10 quarterbacks that I have ahead are better. Right but I don't know. We'll see what he does this season.
That's fair. I mean, there's a couple of them. I think I'll look back on and reevaluate. I'm sure Jackson will too. Like, Jackson has Luke Altmaier in his top 10. I don't see it with that guy. He's my version of your Garrett Nussmeier. I don't see it. Like, what has he shown you to for him to get a mention or be on the list? Help me out here,
Altmaier?
Guys.
Yes,
Luke Altmaier.
Yeah.
Because, like, yes, because you have him in honorable mention and Jackson has him at 9. What am I missing?
I mean, I don't think Altmaier's great. No, I don't. But, I mean, Illinois is not a good team. And Illinois won 10 games last year. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that a quarterback at a school that's not good typically wins 10 games and then you don't have him on a list. I mean, he wasn't bad. I mean, I don't think his stats because, again, I put this list together really quick. And like I said, that doesn't really help with the legitimacy of my ranking. That's why I know, like, they were going to get picked apart. That's fair. I deserve that. But, I mean, 22 touchdowns, 6 picks. 61% completion percentage. I mean, he was good against Michigan State. They're not good. Penn State, he was all right. Purdue, he was great, but Purdue sucks.
I mean, Altmaier did have a pretty good game against Nebraska in week 4. So that was
that was his best game. That was when Nebraska was still something.
I mean, he led Illinois to their first 4-0 start since 1951. And in that year of 1951, they won a natty. So
appreciate you being here, Stephen Cherry. What I mean by Illinois not being good is I'm saying historically, like they're 6-6, 7-5 a lot. They're not a good, like they're not a great team. They're not very good. And like them having a 10-win year last year, that's a big deal. I hadn't done that in a while. It's been a while. So and Altmaier led that. I mean, he's all right. Well, you talk about Indiana, right? Talk about Indiana not playing anybody last year. Illinois really didn't play that many teams either. The only difference, they played Kansas out of conference, but Kansas ended up being trash. And they lost to Penn State. Illinois, man, like, not a great team last year. They were good. They were good. But they're not normally good. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that Altmaier was impressive. That's why I have him here. Because he led a team that normally isn't good to a good year. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think that doesn't make sense. I think that makes sense to me. I think that Luke Altmaier deserves to be on a list. Not a most wanted list, but on a top 15-ish list. He's not a bad player. He's all right, you know. Illinois wasn't that bad last year. Pavia, same thing. I have him on the list for Jackson's sake and because Vanderbilt usually stinks, and they legitimately stink. And Vanderbilt beat Alabama, and they were all right last year, and he's the reason why. Plus, when he's at New Mexico State, he's pretty good. Beat Auburn. I like the guy. Not bad. Pretty good player. He's probably a Canadian Football League player. I saw someone mention that earlier, but he's not a bad player. I like Pavia. He's not going to make nothing of himself outside, like in the NFL or nothing like that. If he plays in the UFL or the CFL, whatever. But he's a good player. He's a solid player, for what he is. And he leads a bad program to something, and that's very commendable on his part. Then you have Ty Simpson. I know this is dumb, but the only reason I have Ty Simpson is because how do you have a list of quarterbacks without someone from Bama on it? How? I mean, you think about our quarterbacks we've just had: Tua, Bryce, Mac Jones, Hurts. They've all been in the top 5 of people's rankings. They've all been great. And then even you look at Milroe, and it's like people were having him in the Heisman conversation, even though he sucked last year. So to me, I have him as the 14th rated quarterback. And honestly, you can insert Keelan Russell right here. Whoever starts. I just think that at the end of the day, at the end of the season, because this is a projection, I am projecting what I think will happen. I think at the end of the season, Alabama's quarterback will be the 14th best quarterback in college football. That's what I think. I don't think that's crazy. Because at Alabama, the stats you're going to put up, the team you're on, they're going to put up good stats. You got Ron Williams. You got Bernard. You got Horton. I didn't put Ty Simpson or / Keelan Russell at 5th. Put him at 14th. I don't think that's crazy. And then Miller Moss, quarterback whisper, you know, he takes rough quarterbacks and makes them something. So Miller Moss will do fine. He'll do all right. And then quarterbacks right off my list. I mean, I had Jalen Daniels somewhere down there, but I don't have him on the list because of the fact that he's hurt and injured now. Carson Beck's way down there. I don't think Carson Beck's any good. He's not good. And Josh Hoover's right there. I like Hoover. I think Hoover's all right. He's actually kind of a guy I forgot about. Jennings is right there. So, I mean, just some guys that are right on the outside. So.
And what we're going to do here is we're going to go through this again, and we're going to grade it. We're each going to give our list a grade, and the chat can get in on this too. So, Jackson, what grade would you give your list from an A to an F?
Can't just rank our own list, like.
I guess it'd be an A-. I mean,
okay.
That's pretty good for 2025, I guess.
Well, I mean, considering I put it together in 17 minutes, I'll give it a B. Okay. I mean,
I was talking about Jackson's.
Jackson's. I mean, Mendoza there. Allar's not one. Nussmeier's pretty low. I give it an A. I like it. Pretty good list.
Thanks.
Kind of checks most of the boxes, I feel.
So. I give it a B plus.
I gave my list a B.
And I know.
So my list is way worse than Jackson's. So there you
go. Stephen Cherry says C-, Jack. Stephen Cherry says C-. He's not too big of a
Dan has an
on
F
your
for
list.
all of us.
Hey, you know what? That's okay. I'll flunk this class with all you all. But I'll give you a B plus, Jackson.
I take it as a compliment, like I always say.
But Jackson, you had a really good list. I disagree with Langway at number 1, but other than that, I mean,
if you didn't have Altmaier at 9, I would legitimately give you an A plus. If you didn't have Altmaier at 9, if you had the top 10, it'd be an A plus. The fact you don't is the only thing I don't really agree with at all. The rest of it, I mean, again, it's your list, and I like it. I mean, I don't agree with Pavia at 5, but I understand it. Like, I can like see where you're coming from with Pavia. Vanderbilt's bad, and he's good at a bad school. So it's like that's impressive. I can understand that. In Leavitt, same thing. Normally a bad team, he did well. So I can buy it, even though I don't agree with their placements. I can buy it. I mean, I really do like his list. I think Jackson did a really good job. The Altmaier one I don't agree with, especially for the reasoning he gave Ellers not being there. And that's the only I just don't agree with at all. Other than that, his list is really, really good.
That's why I said B plus. And I think Jackson, I think you did a good job. We disagree on a couple things, but that's okay. Like, this is what this is meant for. This is our personal list, what we think. But Jackson gets a passing grade, so Jackson can graduate. Okay. My list. I would give my list, if I'm being a B minus. Being modest, I think a lot of people would say Nussmeier might be too high, Arch might be too high. Some people think Langway's too low for me, but I would say a B minus. What say you fellas?
I mean, honestly, I'm sorry to say, and I could be wrong. I don't want to be too, but honestly, I would give it a C minus. It's not great.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
Jalen
fair. I mean,
not been good in a long time. Langway at 8's insane because he's great. And Nussmeier's terrible. Manning hasn't done anything. And Allar's not one. But that's me. Your list to some people plus. I think it's a C minus. I don't think it's going to check out. But the thing is, you could be right though, and Jackson and me could be more wrong. That's the thing. It's a preseason list, but I don't agree with you.
I'm gonna go C on this one.
And see, that's the thing. I'm not going to take any of this to heart because, like I said, like you said, Jeffrey, it's preseason list, and it's our opinions. Like, to me, I think this is the list to me. But like you said, me and you, Jeffrey, could be way off, and Jackson could be the QB whisperer here. We could look back at his list, and he could have 6 out of 10 right, and me and you could only have 1. I mean, so for me, like I said, I'll give it a B minus. I think I did all right. Now for you, Jeffrey, I'll let you grade yours first.
I said B. Again, I think it's a B.
B? Okay. What do you think, Jack? What would you give Jeffrey?
Let's take a look at. I give it a B.
It's not bad. I mean, it's not a bad list. I understand everybody's clowning about Mendoza, but the thing is that he did great at Cal, really good. And that's like the one thing, kind of like with Jackson's with Altmaier. Like, it's the only one I didn't agree with. If the only one people disagree with is Mendoza, I don't think that is bad, right? Like, I don't think it's bad at all. Now, if people have gripes with the rest of it, then okay,
so
it doesn't matter. But I mean, I think the only people being mad just because of Mendoza, I don't get that. But
so Jeffrey, I'll give your list a C plus. And there's some like the Drew Allar one. Like I said, that one kind of bugs me. Like the Nussmeier, I can get over because I can see your point. Absolutely can. Langway at number 1, I disagree with that. I do think he's going to be really good, but I need to see some more. And I worry about his injuries. If he gets injured, then there goes Florida's season. I'll give it a C plus. I don't think any of us failed this assignment because this is a difficult thing to do, like Darrell said. I mean, and it's all opinionated. We may look back at this and be like, Jeffrey, you might be right on Mendoza. He may be the 4th best quarterback when we come back around to this. And me and Jackson may be like, hey, Jeffrey, good call. Or Jason O says these lists are cool as long as we leave the word unbiased out of the conversation. It's okay to be biased. A middle core quarterback from Cal, now IU, and an intermental quarterback from Bama just because it's biased. Okay. Jeffrey, this seems more directed.
Here's my response to this comment. I appreciate you being here, Jason. My response is that Cal was mediocre, and Mendoza elevated Cal. I like how Austin's explanation for Moss is that his coach, Jeff Brom, is a QB whisperer. I think Cignetti's a QB whisperer. The last 5 quarterbacks Curt Cignetti has coached has either won their conference award or finished in the Heisman voting. That's top 5 QB. If he does that again with Mendoza, then he will finish in the top 5. And with Simpson, I know it's kind of a dumb explanation, but you can't tell me that with Alabama, with their last 5 or 6 quarterbacks all being Heisman candidates, that the QB here, especially when you've got Grubb and you've got DeBoer, who are really good offensive guys, that the Bama quarterback is not going to finish in the top 15 statistically in 2025. I think that's going to happen. I mean, Georgia, I don't have Stockton there because Carson Beck sucked last year. And I think Stockton is okay. We'll see what he does. But he didn't really impress me in this short amount of time. So it's not to me. I really feel like Alabama, with history of quarterbacks being really good, that either of them is going to be a top 15. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But this quarterback list is not. It's not that deep, man. I mean, heck, Sayan and Bryce Underwood might be in the top 5 by the end of the year, and we don't even have except you. Me and Jackson don't even have them here because they haven't done anything yet, but they might be top 5 by the end of the season.
Well, here's the thing. I put Bryce Underwood in the honorable mention. I want to make that clear. Like Jeffrey.
That's why I said besides you. I said that besides you. Me and Jackson did not. Besides you, you did. Me and Jackson did not. I said that. Yeah. Because kudos to you for being brave to put him there. Me and Jackson didn't because he hasn't played me. But he very well could be top 5 season.
And here's the thing too. And I want to say this before we go. You know,
are we doing callers? Are we doing callers, Jackson?
No. I vote no.
Yes or no, Jackson?
We can do callers next time, I guess.
Okay. I mean, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I know that the chat would be begging to pick us apart, but just whatever.
I mean, maybe $100 super chat, and that will consider
$100 super chat. I don't know if anybody can do that.
I tell you what. If someone could give me a good argument why we should have do a call in on this one, I'll bite. So what I was going to ask is,
sorry, I asked. I'm just kidding, man. Like, oh man.
But what I was going to ask is because BB did say everyone has a stinker on this list. Without being biased, who would you say your stinker was on your all's list? Like for me, I think my stinker would probably be Jalen Daniels. Would be my one stinker, like the one that people would look back at and be like, "Oh, that's a bad choice." What about you, Jeffrey? Looking at your list, what's your stinker? Like one you may regret later. Like you're like, that's a bad pick.
Bouncing between Levitt or Mateer.
Okay. That's fair. Mateer. That's fair. I mean,
Mateer, I guess. I'm not going Mendoza. I'm not. I'm just not doing it. I've already made
no. Here's the thing, Jeffrey. Here's the thing. We're not asking you to because here's the.
Yeah, but you see, chat. There we go, Mendoza. I'm not saying Mendoza. It's not Mendoza.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. This is what's the beauty about these lists is these are what we think. Like the great voice of college football, Mark Rogers, he does these lists as well. And most of the time, Mark hits on them. But Mark's got a few stinkers in there as well. No one's going to be perfect. So, yeah, my list may look like crap to somebody, but then it turns out not to be that bad after all. I may get 5 out of 10. But that's the thing, too. Jeffrey might hit on Mendoza. Mendoza might be Big Ten Player of the Year for all we know. Now that would be a real, stretch, but you never know. I mean, anything can happen. Anything can happen. But I will say this, though. Jeffrey, I'm glad you hopped on the top 10. And our next show we're going to do is top 10 head coaches going into this year. Me and Jackson will be back with that. Jeffrey is a TBD. If Jeffrey is available, he will be back for that as well.
I appreciate you guys letting me on. This is a fun show. And by the way, never on this entire show was I mad. I was just having fun with it. You know, I like explaining my picks. You know, just like as much as you like criticizing my picks, Austin, and I do the same. It's great. I love it. And that's why these shows are great. I remember me and you, Austin, went back and forth years ago on that Iowa thing. Right? 8-4. I was like, Iowa's the same team every year, Austin. You're like, oh, well, you know, they didn't disappoint. I was like, dude, they disappointed, or no, actually, no, I take it back. I'm saying it backwards. You said that they disappointed. I said they didn't because they were the same team. You're like, no, they made the Big Ten West. This year they went 8-4. And I'm like, dude, they're the same team. But like, that's what makes it great to me. Like,
yes.
I just like the discussion. I just like the back and forth, the explanation. So, like I said,
Yes.
I never not once not frustrating. In the chat, everybody's just destroying my list. And ironically, the chat ended up saying my list was the best, I think. I saw a lot of B's for me, and they were giving y'all like C's, but I was getting trashed on, so people kind of vibing with my list. It wasn't bad, obviously. I mean, I gave mine the worst than Jackson. I thought Jackson's was better than mine. But the chat seemed to think mine was better. So,
see, here's the thing, too. The funny thing is, before we start promoting ourselves here, is the funny part about this, the whole thing is, the competitor in me is like, I want to beat you too. Because but it's all fun at the end. Like, we all, I think, are competitors.
No, I'm messing with you,
B.
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm sorry. Like I know you did. I'm just, it's great. Y'all were roasting me, though. Y'all were roasting me. But that's great.
Jeffrey,
Stephen could have went even further.
Stephen Cherry just gave me an F- for having Drew Allar at number 1. So you can get in line behind me.
I gave you a C-. Like, yours wasn't that bad. I mean, it's not like you had some random QB from, like, Idaho on the list. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Here's the thing. I think our lists were competent. Like Darrell said, this is a difficult thing to do. Like, and the head coaches is too, because it all is all subjective. Like, and this is one of them.
Burks gives you an A+, Austin. Burks gives you an A+, and that's all that.
For being so adorable. Burks, I'm a taken man, okay? I'm a taken man. Oh my god!
And as always, Stephen Cherry with the receipts. I got you, Steven. You can print mine out. You can put Jeffrey's on the list.
For it.
Put Jackson's on the list. Like make it like a Publix receipt or a Fred Meyer, or a Safeway receipt.
Exactly.
Wherever your grocery store is, you just put it in the style of that. Put our list on it.
Yes.
And then go back and be like, man, back in July 1st, those guys were complete. Like, just,
Yes. But before we get to promoting our personal selves, do want to let y'all know, like I said, we have the head coaches coming down the pipe next. And B Bean says you should be here for that one, Jeffrey. We'll make that happen. If Jeffrey's available. If Jeffrey is available, we'll make it happen. I promise you, we will do our best to pick a day that Jeffrey could be here. And then after that, we'll do top 10 conference, non-conference games. And then me and Jackson will do the big 4 conference predictions. And we'll give our championship predictions, who we think will win the conferences. And if y'all want to see the Mountain West or the American, we'll do that too. Please, if you love us, don't make us predict that, please. Like, if you love me and Jackson, look at that beautiful face. Please don't let him.
Me and Will aren't even doing it. Like, me and Will are only doing the conferences, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the big ones, the ones that matter, right? Like, me and Will aren't even doing Mountain West and all that. Like, we've done the ACC and the SEC. We'll wrap it up with the Big 10, and we'll maybe get to the Big 12, and then we're done. Like, you're lucky, Big 12. You make the cut. Like, the rest of you, like, who cares about the American Conference, man? They've lost all their good teams. Out West, they're the pack now. Screw that. You're nothing. I don't care about none of them. Like they're irrelevant, man. People try to gaslight me and say, all right, Jeffrey, the brand name of the Pac-12 is so strong. And that is why all those Mountain West teams go in the pack. And I'm like,
there's one way to make this list easier for Group of 5 if you want an option, Jeffrey. They're like a top 10 Group of 5 teams for entering 2020.
That's actually a good idea. I've actually seen people do that. But the thing is, we're running out of good ones, though. I mean, you've got like Boise. I mean, if we count the Pac-12, the new Pac-12 as the Group of 5, because that's what it is, right? It's basically the Mountain West. You got like Boise, you got like Memphis, Tulane. But I mean, we're running out of good ones. I mean, the Army, the Naval Academy, the Army, all that stuff. They're getting there now. Like they're the best of the 5. There's none left. We got Dan the Diesel Freak coming in with a $2 super chat. OMG, Georgia barbecue the SEC. Yes, that is gonna happen in the world of Dan the Diesel Freak. Now in our world, we don't know, but in Dan's world, what happens? They could go 8-4 and they're still gonna barbecue the SEC. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate the super chat, Dan. But I mean, we don't know if they're gonna barbecue. We don't know.
Oh my God!
Chat qualify for a call-in from Dan for Bree? Does it qualify?
No.
Austin's still saying no.
You can call in next week.
No, listen. See, here's the thing. I tell you what, Dan. If you come on here with a reasonable.
That ain't gonna happen, Austin. There's a better chance of the Long Branch with Miss Kitty, as Jackson would say, than that. Chance in heck of him coming on for anything reasonable. Just no way.
So you're telling me, Jeffrey, you've got a better shot at marrying Buffy the Vampire Slayer than Dan does at being reasonable.
At this point, it wouldn't surprise me, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Dan he wants it, man. He wants it. Look at that. He's getting us closer to that $100. Darrell said he'd come on for a reason. I mean, like I said, man. Yeah, well, yeah, that is true, Steven. That is facts. But you know, the thing is, like, if I can take it for about 10 minutes, I can listen to Dan for about a maximum of 10 minutes, and then my brain explodes. So you know, you put a timer on Dan, I can handle Dan. I can handle Dan.
See, here's the thing, though.
He says, "You're scared me. You don't want me to destroy you."
What? Dan, listen, Dan. I tell you what, Dan. You're gonna get me started. I tell you what. Here's what we'll do, Dan. If you give Jeffrey $100 super chat, I'll let you on.
Dan's already given 7.
You can have all.
He's already given 7. And Godfather, appreciate the super chat. I mean, like the people. You got to give the people.
I don't care though. He's delusional.
Oh, he is delusional, but that's why we love the guy. That's what Jackson said earlier. He called him Good Bucky, man. I mean, Dan, he reels himself into the community, man.
Listen,
the guy, he was on the outer fringes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. And
see, here's the thing.
Like he's always
Jackson.
It's like Dan has always been here, man.
Yeah.
See, you and Jackson love him. I don't love him. I have love in my life. You two might love him.
I don't love him like that, man. Screw that. Now, what Beat's saying is that Jeffrey Jackson both Gunsmoke fan. I would rather watch Gunsmoke than anything on television today. Anything. There's not one show on TV today that I would rather watch than that. Now, Gunsmoke isn't my favorite show. I'd rather watch something like Cheers or with Children or Three's Company or something like that. But Gunsmoke is a darn good show. I love it. So, yeah. He is still on the outer fringes. He is. But
no. Here's the thing.
Sneaking a little closer. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. It would be like if Dan was the field goal, that football's going wide left, and it ain't coming back.
Yeah, but it's still there, man. Yeah, Stanford Son's another good one.
Oh, man.
That's another good one.
Oh my God!
Another $5 super chat for you. You were all up on
Sesame Street.
Well, Alabama's not dumb. I mean, we win. We just win. All right, we win, and Indiana now wins. So you know, I mean, how many?
Listen.
Do you know? Like that counts for something.
Hey, listen here, Dan. You want to talk about us rooting for dumb teams? So guess what? We have Lamar, Action Jackson, and Teddy Two Gloves, son of a gun.
I don't even know if he knows who Teddy Two Gloves is, man. Like.
Oh, I'm right.
You got to be an ultimate football fan to know who Teddy Two Gloves is. Like, come on.
Exactly. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks in Louisville history. I mean, of course, Dan wouldn't know that because.
That's what I'm saying, man. Now you complicating things too much for the guy, man. Like, come on.
I forget. Hold on. Let me dumb it down. Teddy Bridgewater, good Dan. He's good. Just like Jackson is good.
Yeah, and then I can't pull it up because it's not a super chat, but you see it in there. is yeah, you know, and so I mean Dan, I feel like Dan's contributed enough to this show. Should we give him a few minutes? Should we give the real
Here's the thing.
Just saying.
I got 2 words for Dan. Suck it. Go on.
Wow.
I don't know, man. I mean, we got Clint, we got Traveling Full. It's a
yo.
It is a party in here. Don't stand so close to Dan. Oh man, I mean it's a party, man. It's a party. I mean, I'm all for it.
I mean,
I'm having fun, man. I don't have to go. I don't have to be up early tomorrow. You know, I'm all right.
I gotta be up at 5 a.m. to feed the horses here.
Well, you can go to sleep, Austin. You can go to sleep. If Jackson could stay awake, I mean, he fell asleep an hour ago. But if he can stay awake, we can do this thing. I mean, we can do this.
That's good.
Oh my gosh, you're letting the devil in. But okay.
Are you all right with it? I mean, Jackson's got the timer. He's got the timer. Give him some time, you know.
I tell you what.
I got a 5-minute, 55-second timer.
All right. We got the super chats from Dan. We appreciate the support. So to do you a favor, we're going to let you on, and anybody else for that matter who wants to come on and talk for the next 20, 30 minutes. And then we got to go. But you guys have been awesome in chat tonight. We appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. So, yeah, I don't know. Daryl says it will be entertaining but uninformative. Well, you remember that little thing that says educational and informative? Well, you just put uninformative in front of that, and there you go. I mean, we're still, you know, you just put a U there, EUI, educational and uninformative. All right, here's Dan.
Here we
Dan
go. 5-minute, 55-second timer starts now.
Well, finally, these boys grew a set of balls to actually let me on, so I'm actually
you're welcome, Dan. You're welcome.
And like I said, y'all are rejects from Sesame Street, and it's clearly 100% a fact. Y'all can't get chicks because y'all lame as hell. And third of all, Alabama is as dumb as hell. And I don't even need to be on here to roast
if you're
y'all.
all Ohio State fans, then you would say we're good with the ladies, right?
Of course.
Okay, so like, folks, you have to be an Ohio State fan to be good with the ladies. That's what we just heard.
Oh my gosh.
Why do you clowns have to be on here at this time? Like, oh my god.
That's what we do, man. We used to do this on a regular basis, but you know what I'm saying? Like, these days, we got more work. We got commitments, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we can't stay up till 4 a.m, but we actually used to do this on a regular basis. If you remember, we used to be live like all the time. And everybody that's in our chat right now, they're our regulars, and we love them. We appreciate you guys to death. They've always been here. You know what I'm saying? They love our late night streams. They love our late night streams.
Austin, do me a favor. Go to your girlfriend and go drink her milk, and then Jeffrey and Jackson, go. Why don't you guys go to bed? Because I don't need to be hearing y'all dog shit up in here. It's boring.
Well, at least Dan admitted that Austin has a girlfriend. At least he admitted it. All right, you've been given credit, Austin. You've been given credit. Dan thinks you're a Chad. That's all that matters. All right, you know what I'm saying? Because in Dan's world, that's amazing. All right, like me and Jackson, we're just inadequate over here. Inadequate and uninformative. Rejects even. I know rejects. Like, it's not pretty.
I'm done with these dumb clowns. Someone come on else and roast these kids.
I don't think anybody wants to rope us in, man. I mean, they're having a good time just listening to us, bullcrap at this hour, you know?
Dan.
Thank you. We got the man, the real MVP in the house. Let's go.
Jeffrey, how dare you? Hold on, Daryl. We're going to do a proper... Jeffrey hasn't been in tune yet. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the legendary caller, the real MVP, the greatest of all time, the never seen 17, gracing us with his presence one final time, the real MVP. There you go, Daryl. Now you may speak.
I was going to say, I hope this isn't the final time. Like I'm just cast into the shadow realm for now.
Like I heard that. I'm like, this is it for Darrell. It's all over for here. Like what?
Well, if you see somebody get hit by a bus on the news, I think we know who the prime suspect is in that case.
Darrell, I'll be praying for you, man. I'll be praying for you. Do not get hit by a bus.
I'll look out for that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, just don't walk in the street, man. You're good. You're good.
I'm good. I'll be good. I'll make sure just to be shelter in place. I'll have a shelter in place order for just myself tomorrow. I'll be honest. The mute button exists for a reason. Anytime you see Dan on, just hit that mute button. That's what I did. I didn't hear a word he said, and I'm sure I'm blessed for it just based off your all's reactions. So I have no idea where to go with this conversation other than, guys, let's actually talk about for some football because I know that wasn't talked about with Dan considering how long this call lasted. I think there's about 25 to 30 quarterbacks this year that could be a top 10 quarterback.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that sounds like a paradox, but when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Like Carson Beck, I was shocked he wasn't on any of your all's list, highly touted transfer. I think he could be a top 10 quarterback. Miller Moss could be a top 10 quarterback. Garrett Nussmeier could be a top 10 quarterback. There's like 8 quarterbacks in the SEC I could see being a top 10 quarterback in the year. There's like 5 or 6 in the Big 10. The Big 12, somebody like not Oklahoma State, Houston, their quarterback. I don't even know who their quarterback is, but they wouldn't shock me if they go 10-2 and they throw for 4,500 yards because somebody in the Big 12 is going to surprise us. So I think there's going to be there's a abnormal amount of parity at the quarterback position this year.
We got Gabe Pickup of the Rutgers channel. Appreciate you stopping by this Athen Calic Manis. I mean, that would be crazy. And then we got Dan with another $2 super chat. You have been graced, Darrell, with this comment. Darrell MVP 24 is a dummy.
Well, I haven't been kicked off the show yet, and based on how long he lasted, I mean, at least my presence is wanted.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, we want Darrell on. I mean, we want Dan too, just for like 10 seconds.
So I wanted to ask you, I'm not sure about the Heisman odds, if you all have looked at Vegas for their Heisman odds, but where I was going to go as an extension with my 30 quarterbacks is I'm shocked that Jeremiah Smith isn't widely considered the favorite to be the Heisman Trophy winner this year because he's just significantly better than everyone else playing football right now by like a wide margin. Like he's better than Devontae Smith. He's one of the best wide receivers college football's ever had. So I don't know how he isn't considered the Heisman favorite at this point. I know it's hard for wide receivers to win it, but when it's pretty obvious he's that much better, and there's some like, oh man, this guy should have been higher on the list last year. Like there's an argument between him and Ryan Williams. I think there's going to be some people that says, well, we didn't give him the respect last year he deserved, so we'll kind of give him the respect he deserved this year, maybe some more.
That's absolutely fair. I mean, I do agree that that the Heisman Trophy should not just be a quarterback award. You know, it should be a award for the best player. That's typically, that's what it was supposed to be, but they ditched that a long time ago. So I mean, yeah, like Jeremiah Smith, incredible player. Like it was a debate early on, him or Ryan Williams, and like, yeah, I was championing for Ryan Williams, like, oh my gosh, he's the best, he's so dynamic. Jeremiah Smith is the better receiver because he does everything, right? Like he's a big body, he's like a Mack truck.
I mean, do you just watch the game? Just watch the game. It's so obvious. It's like when Randy Moss was in the NFL. Just the gap between him. You could just have somebody who doesn't know sports just watch it and say, oh, he's the best player on the field. He's just better than everyone else at all aspects of the game. Like, doesn't matter what the other teams do to him unless they like double or triple team him like Texas. He's just that much better. So I've pulled up the Vegas Heisman odds, and a lot of them are quarterbacks. So I'm just going to assume their high odds are ranking, and I just want your all general reaction. Is that fine, gentlemen?
Go for it.
Okay, so they've got Manning 1, Nussmeier 2, Klubnik 3, Sayin 4, Allar 5, Seller 6, Langway 7, Dante Moore 8, and Carson Beck 9. So what do you think about that from a top 9? I got that.
That list is that yours?
That's the Vegas odds.
Oh God.
For Heisman winner.
Oh, that list is F. Like horrible. Like that list is legitimate trash. Like Dante Moore. Like really? Like you kidding me right now?
Yeah, he's plus 2,000 to win the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Right now, Arch Manning is
Is it because he's at Oregon?
Odds. Yes, I'm looking at live odds right now. It's been flipped. It's Manning, Nussmeier, Klubnik, Allar, saying Langway, Mateer, Sellers, Moore, Levitt is the top 10.
Nussmeier, yuck.
There's no way in the world that Nussmeier is going to be second in the Heisman race.
Oh, man.
LSU's not like Jaden Daniels put up insane stats, like otherworldly stats, and barely won the Heisman at 8-5. LSU's probably going to go around that this next season, and I don't see Nussmeier put up anywhere close to those type stats. So no.
Okay. Do you think this year in particular it's going to be tied into just the best player on the best team? Because with how even the competition is, like I think there's a large possibility that if it's not Jeremiah Smith, they're just going to say, well, this team went 12-0 and their quarterback's really good, so we're just going to decide to go with him. I think that's the most likely scenario if Jeremiah Smith doesn't win.
The only reason why Devontae Smith won the Heisman was because of the fact that he clearly was a better player than Mac Jones. That was it. And Bama was the best team. So if Ohio State is the best team again this year, and Jeremiah Smith has over 50% or 40% or some ridiculous amount of the yards of all the receivers at Ohio State, like no one else, it's not like a trio or a quartet like Bama had. Like Smith won it the year when a couple of them left, right? Like he was more of he was the guy versus when you had the quartet the year before 2019. And Ohio State's had it where they've had 3 or 4 great receivers before at the same time. Jeremiah Smith just separates himself so far from every other receiver at Ohio State, and Julian Sayin does not impress that much as a freshman. Then, like he does impress, obviously, but not statistically like himself. And Smith is that much more impressive. He's the main reason their offense is legit.
He doesn't have the hype as well. And I think that factors into it a lot. But if it's not Ohio State's the best team, let's say it's Clemson. Cade Klubnik's going to win it, right? There's no world, in my opinion, where Dante Moore or Garrett Nussmeier wins it and Oregon's 12-0 again.
Dante Moore, I mean, I'm not a betting guy, and I'm not going to make ridiculous claims and all that kind of junk. I don't do that. I know Will made an insane bet. Caden just wrapped up his time. I know that, looking at some of the quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff, that you never know, but Dante Moore, no, it's not happening. You can't tell me that guy's going to go out there and lead Oregon other than 8-4. It's not happening. Kane the Diesel Freak, he's back. Says, I was on for 2 minutes and I embarrassed these PJs, dropped the mic like the real Slim Shady. Okay, so now Caden is certified Eminem. Appreciate that, Caden the Diesel Freak. We appreciate
the $5 super chat.
But I agree with you, Darrell. It's not going to be Dante Moore. It's not going to be. No, it's not happening.
Okay, TV timeout. TV timeout here, real fast. So Jeffrey, if Caden's Eminem, what's that make us? Snickers, Twix?
I have no idea.
Austin, I think that was a good attempt for a joke that didn't land at all, my friend. I mean, listen.
Well, if Caden the Diesel Freak is Eminem, what artist best suits you guys? What musical artist? I mean, I know Austin really likes Nickelback, but I don't know if that's your favorite.
He's probably much more widely liked than Nickelback. At least we should hope for his sake. His family likes him more than the average person.
Austin is not on my level, and he's lame as heck. Says Caden the Diesel Freak. Appreciate the super chat.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm not on your level. Like I said before, Caden, you're not on our level because we're on another level, pal. Like I said, and you ain't gonna be making no more movies when we're done with you, pal. You gonna need to go get reconstructive surgery when we're done with you, pal.
Wait, Caden's made a movie?
Yes.
He's been in a feature film. I mean, yeah. Stephen Cherry said we could be the Bee Gees. I mean, I would go with like Rush. You know, I'll take Rush. You know, this is a 3-man band.
I got it. We're Big Time Rush. There we go. Jeffrey,
I
you're the good
like
looking.
Rush way better than Big Time.
No. We're Big Time Rush because Darreel's the heartthrob, Jeffrey's the good looking one, Jackson's the smart one, and then I'm the one who always is wrecking things. There we go. Darreel, you're the heartthrob.
Yeah. Speaking of wrecking things, Austin, I'm surprised YouTube allows you to wear that type of shirt and not get demonetized instantly. I mean, I didn't realize. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't need to say anything more. Just look at that logo.
Well, wait a minute. Whoa. Are you implying something, Darreel?
I'm implying that logo is trash.
Are you implying something, Darreel?
No, I'm implying that logo's trash. That's all I'm implying.
Okay, I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought you were implying something else.
No, gosh, no. I was just talking
okay. You scared me, man. I was like, what?
No. See,
okay,
Jeffrey,
you're scaring me. I'm like, are you Dan 2.0 on me? You're scaring me.
No, Jeffrey. Me and Austin have banter back and forth about Louisville, Kentucky every single time we call in. I don't even know what you're talking about, Jeffrey, to be honest.
I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to leave it as is. But I thought, okay, that's fine. Cade the Diesel Free. Can you read that? Can you read that?
Yeah, I'll read that. Cade the Diesel Freak for $5 super chat says, oh, God. I can't read this without laughing. I don't
want to read it, man. I don't want to read it.
He said, I drop more panties and the hotties can't handle me, and even the girls in Panama.
Panama. Panama.
Oh, God.
Can I ask you, hold on. Can I ask a serious question? Where can I find people like this who troll me and then give me money for trolling? Where can I find somebody like this? Please?
I mean, I appreciate for those who think that no reality upon the gilded cage. I love that song, bro. The Limelight, man. Let's go. Oh, man, dude. Rush is good.
Question.
I appreciate the super chats, Dan. If you want to keep them coming, you can say anything you want, and Jackson will read it as long as it's not going to get us banned. We appreciate the super chats. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is this going to get us demonetized, YouTube? Is this okay? Are we going to get cut off here?
Hey.
All right, we're good.
Caden, listen. I'm going to give you some friendly advice, and this is free. Get you some help, my dude. This is unhealthy here.
He's not going to get any help, Austin. It's only going to go downhill from here like the Titanic. That puppy, that shit is thinking fast, man. It's taking on water more than Leonardo DiCaprio, man. All right, let's go.
Jeffrey, Dan needs professional help. More than me, Darreel, you, and Jackson can give him. Dan, you need help.
Thank you, Austin. I appreciate that he needs more help than I do. Thank you. Makes me feel good.
I mean, that's not exactly high praise there, Jeffrey. I mean, that's, let me clarify it, and just to make it explicitly clear, that doesn't mean you don't need help. For anybody out there, the 4 of you who think you might need help.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's still a very.
If you need more help than Dan does, then you're beyond help. So at least we all know that everyone here is not beyond help. That's what we know.
Oh,
that is true. Now, I'm going to try to do my best to rope this back into actual discussion in order to
okay, so Darreel. Real quick, Darreel. Speaking of the banter, I gotta comment back. I can't let Darreel win. Darreel, this is a logo of greatness. Maybe you should consider getting yourself one. You'd look good in the color red.
I like colors that win games. And just how great our success our basketball teams had, our baseball teams had recently, our football teams had. I mean, just look, Kentucky's just the best state skull. I mean, look, even our softball program, it's just constantly, it's not even really a rivalry anymore when you just constantly win everything. You know,
it's like Purdue and Indiana, Darrell. We're Indiana, you're Kentucky. And then you've got Louisville, Purdue, right? Like IU, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Alabama, Auburn. We're Alabama.
Listen, I honestly can't even relate to Austin's position. That's how much better I can relate to you, Jeffrey. I just can't understand what he's talking about, man.
Well, I guess that's
Diesel Freak with another $2 super chat. We salute you, Dan. Appreciate it. Louisville. Go ahead, Jackson.
That's my cue. Caden Diesel Freak for the $2 super chat says, quote, Louisville is shit and Alabama is not good.
Well, at least that means Alabama's pretty darn good in Dan's eyes because we're not.
We appreciate the $2 contribution
like
from
blood
Caden.
money.
By the way, did
this
you
is
all
like
see
Jeffrey
Alabama's
Saudi Arabia blood money?
Alabama's ranked #1 in the college football video game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Jeffrey and I talked a little bit about it today on today's edition of Crimson Tide Live, which we will have clips of that, not just on the Alabama channel, but on the Alabama social media accounts as well.
Yeah, can somebody? I hate this about video games nowadays. Listen, there's not 4 teams that are the exact same rating. Okay, Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, all aren't the same.
Wow.
Go ahead, Drew. Go ahead. You were saying the rule.
Yeah, Drew, go ahead, man.
So I don't like that in college football that these 4 teams have the exact same rating. Like, how is Penn State, Texas, Ohio State, and I forget the 4th one. They aren't all equally the same level team. One of these teams is better than the other one. One of these teams is worse. You know, you got to make an opinion here. Don't cop out and just have everyone as equal. Anybody can tell you that off the street. Hey, who's the best teams? Well, I think it's Texas. Well, I think it's Clemson. Oh, let's just have them all the same now. I think people are too afraid to make people upset, so they just go with the safe route and make sure that nobody's offended. And that's why they put everyone as the same rating.
Now they're like 97 or something, just like a solid number.
No, they're 88s.
88. Okay, I was just picking a random number to make that emphasis. So it's a solid number. So it's not what they could do to do that would be, say, give one of them 88.7, another 88.4. You know, that would be too much work for them, but they could do that.
You know, they could do is put Alabama in like a 93 and then Texas a 90. They could make the scale a little bit bigger. That way they actually have enough room for these rankings. But anyway, Austin, what were you going to say?
So, Darrell, I know why they do that. And I learned this, but actually it's pretty funny. So they give you a rating for your offense, defense, and then your overall. They try to balance it out, balance the power. So if Penn State has a 90 defense, they try to be like, okay, you're going to have this on offense, and then your overall will be this. And sometimes, depending on how the numbers and metrics work, it balances itself out. And sometimes you end up with teams all tied. I agree with you. They shouldn't just be like, okay, Penn State, you're both 88. Penn State, Texas, you're both 88. Have fun. I do think they should be like, okay, Penn State, your defense is better. Let's elevate that so you're an 89. It's weird how that works, and it's going to be the same in college basketball.
Mathematical point you're making. I just find it weird, especially like some of these teams that'll be like 94 offense, 90 defense, and their overall is like 93. As an example, I'm like, how do these things work together? I really don't understand it, but I think the rating system needs to be updated to be more flexible, in my opinion.
So it's funny. So, Darrell, there'll be a team that's like an 89 on offense, but there'll be like a 77 on defense. And
yeah, I think he froze out. But Air Force was a team like that last year when they were, I think they were a tier 4 or tier 5 team. They had like an 82 offense and they had like a 60-some defense. You know, so yeah, I know their defense was atrocious, but their offense was really good. It was crazy. And they would only run the
yeah. We got another super chat from Caden the Diesel Free. I mean, again, appreciate Caden's contributions. says, y'all are idiots and Drill MVP couldn't hold my work boots in a million years, and I'll be enjoying Georgia beating Bama. Well, I can guarantee you, Caden, we're not going to be here in a million years to hold your work boots anyway, but, I mean, what size you wearing? An 8? 10? Like, I don't think
what
that.
If the boots in a million years actually deteriorate and their actual fabric would just fade into non-existence?
We got another super chat from Caden the Diesel Freak saying, Godfather, you are annoying as heck. So, I mean, you like Godfather around here. He's a great contributor to Alabama, the voice of college football. Fantastic contributor to all of us. We appreciate
I would say the
Godfather.
best contributor, to be honest. I would even go as far as to say he's the best contributor on the Alabama channel. You know, the most thoughtful, the most
we'll
loyal.
say that. Well, I agree with that, Drew. You know why? Because he's actually an Alabama fan. Like, most of our viewers are not Alabama fan, which we appreciate all the non-Alabama viewers. Well, we want all fan bases to check out the channel. But Godfather of the SEC, he's an OG. He's a member from the beginning. Definitely appreciate his support. I agree with Drew. Godfather of the SEC is the best member of our channel.
Yes.
Alabama voice of college football. We appreciate Godfather of the SEC. He's the Godfather for a reason. All right. So
yes.
Definitely appreciate
He's the higher
Thank you
power.
for correcting me, Darrell. You're right.
He's the higher power we look to. When things go wrong, Godfather is the power you look to. He will make it right. He's the Godfather. He's like Al Capone.
Al Capone, man. He got in trouble for taxes. All right.
Oh, my bad, Godfather.
So let me ask you about this, Jackson. I wanted to ask you about this. I saw Corey Bratta is going to be hosting the Big Ten Live Show.
Mm-hmm.
So is this Big Ten Live Show going to be the similar format as the old one? Is it going to be where you can call in and argue or discuss, or is it just going to be them going back and forth about
kind of like the Ocho
silver medalists?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be like the Ocho. It's going to be kind of like where Matt Zimick and Mark had it for a few weeks in late 2024, early 2025.
I got you. Now, how are they going to have like a silver trophy in the background or a silver medal just to recognize where they're at in the world? I feel like they should. Just have, understand where they're trying to get to.
We got another super chat from Caden the Diesel Freak. Appreciate that, Cade. He says, $2, size 13 boots, stomping my enemy's guts out all day. I mean, honestly, Caden, you got a YouTube channel. You theoretically can make that happen. Like, you can make a video or a short doing that, and we'll have to see that one to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, you could just do that. You could show us stomping your enemies, whether that's Super Mario villains or ants. I mean, ants are a great target. If you don't like ants, I mean, do that. We'll love to see those size 13 boots. Back up the talk. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that, Kate. He says, Stephen Cherry, I need this show on X. YouTube's too rowdy. We were going to put it on X, Stephen, but we didn't have enough to do it. So, unfortunately, Caden's losing. I'll stop, but Caden is absolutely losing it. But appreciate Caden, but man, here's
the thing, Stephen Cherry. Here's the thing. Let me give you a backstory here. So, this was originally just going to be me and Jackson. And then Jeffrey, being Mr. trying to ride our coattails because we're greatness, I'm QB1 and Jackson's wide receiver 1. And Jeffrey's
I'm like running back 4, right? I'm like running back 4.
See,
I like how Austin, in a very selfish move, decided I'm going to be the best player on the most important position. He didn't even humble himself and be like, I'm the coach, and he's my defensive and offensive coordinator. He said, no, I want the ball every single play, and I want to be the guy that wins the game or loses the game. We know what mindset he's operating in now.
How do you feel about this, Darrell? Jason O says, if anything can name the Big Ten show if anything can make the Big Ten show more exciting and interesting, it's more Iowa talk. Woo doggy. How about them high octane Hawkeyes? How are you feeling about that?
I think Iowa is the perfect representation of what the Big Ten is as a whole. I was watching Iowa, Nebraska a few years ago. It might have been last year. I don't remember. It was like 5 minutes to go in. No, it was Iowa, Nebraska. It was like 5 minutes to go in the game. There was 3 turnovers. There was like 1 first down converted. And I was like, both these teams are trying to lose the game. And it was like a 40-some yard field goal to win it to make it like 13-10 final. I'm thinking that's the perfect representation of a mid. There's Jeffrey's favorite word, by the way, mid. I'm going to try to incorporate that more throughout the show. Big Ten game. It's just 2 teams who try to lose, but one of them has to win. You know,
remember that Illinois-Iowa game that was 9-6? That Minnesota-Nebraska game that was 13-10, and Daniel Jackson caught the touchdown in the backcourt of the end zone, and Nebraska lost. You had another one-score game. Yeah, the thing is, I thought when you were doing that list, Nebraska-Iowa, I said it Wisconsin because I was formulating the list of teams that have no offense, right?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing. Just name everyone in the Big Ten outside of Ohio State, and that's it, and Oregon. I mean, Penn State, no offense. Michigan doesn't have
USC's got Lincoln Riley. He's an offensive guru.
Yeah, but they don't have a good offense. Did you see them
I know.
last year? Maryland, terrible. Purdue.
Indiana was good last year. Indiana was good last year on offense.
They were good. Minnesota, terrible. Illinois, terrible. All these teams are terrible on offense. Now, that all of them have top 5 defenses? No. Are their defenses compensate for some of the offense? Yes. But get a quarterback or 2, man. I mean, that conference is – and look at the quarterbacks this year in the Big Ten. Not exactly all inspiring in terms of greatness. Anyway.
Mendoza.
Yeah, Mendoza honestly might be the best quarterback starting out in the Big Ten, which is sad for the Big Ten.
Thank you, Darrell. I'm glad you see it the way I'm seeing it. I appreciate that.
That's not praise for you. That's an indictment on your conference.
See, here's the thing.
Don't take it.
See, Jeffrey, why are you accepting Darrell's compliment? He's a Kentucky fan. What does he know about quarterbacking here? I mean, here's the thing. If anybody knows anything,
I told you, Jeffrey. This is what we do.
See, here's the thing. Darrell doesn't know about court.
Well, I guess I've missed y'all's epic debates. I haven't been around that much lately. Man.
No, we always trash talk on here, on this channel.
Yeah, I've been missing a lot.
Listen, Austin, okay? We're on the Jake Retzoff plan now. That's who I'm hoping to get. I was on the Diego Poverty plan before that. I'm on the
Diego Poverty plan.
I'm on the anybody but Zach Calzada plan. Literally anybody.
Yes, Zach Calzada was bad, dude. He had one good game in A&M.
Jeffrey, that's our quarterback. Is Zach Calzada. I don't think I need to explain.
Wait. That's your quarterback?
Yes.
At Kentucky?
Yes.
What happened to Brock Vandegrift?
He retired from football.
Man, I've really been out of the loop. Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Y'all got Zach Calzada. That's like Robbie Ashford level, man.
Yeah.
You serious?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, Stoops is done. Yeah, we got Katie. We get another super chat. Appreciate it, Katie. They says,
I'll read it for you.
MVP. Kentucky is, I mean, go ahead, Jackson.
Hold on, don't read it. I'll just endorse everything he said. We're the 16th best team in the SEC. We're not going to win any games probably in the SEC. We'll probably lose to Eastern Michigan. Somebody on here said we were going to go 8-4. Okay,
being prideful.
And sorry, man, for reading this, Darrell, but this is Cade's super chat. He says, Darrell MVP, Kentucky is shit. So join the shitty team club.
See, here's the thing,
dude. At least he's right this time, though. I mean, sorry, Darrell, but if Zach Calzada is your quarterback, you got no hope.
Yeah, that's what we went to in the transfer portal, Jeffrey.
Why would you even get that out of the portal? I would have just gone with your backup quarterback at that point.
We didn't have clearly we didn't have a backup quarterback that could throw the football if we picked Zach Calzada, Jeffrey. I mean, my goodness, I told you Diego Poverty was a better. Do you understand where I'm coming from now? Well,
I do, Darrell. I misunderstood. I understand clearly now. I can see clearly now the rain is gone, except in Kentucky, because it is going to be ugly as heck for the Wildcats next season. My thing is, what happened? Brock Vandegrift, Georgia. They wanted that guy. They had him for your why? Was he just bad?
Yes, he was terrible. Yes. And guess what? Jeffrey? Somebody on this panel knew Zach Calzada was the quarterback for Kentucky and picked Kentucky to go 8-4. Can you believe that? Yeah.
This guy. Why would you pick your rival to go 8-4 when they got Zach Calzada?
See, here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. And this is what's going to happen. Is DeRio's being bashful, playing it down. Oh, poor old Kentucky. The poor old Key Cat's abused. But what's going to happen? They're going to go 8-4. They're going to upset a couple teams.
They're not going 8-4. Mark Stoops, man, Jeffrey, it's on the decline. It's in the gutter right now.
Jeffrey, let me read you our SEC opponents real quick. Tell me how many of these you think we're expected to win or can be competitive in. Ole Miss, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, Auburn, Florida, Vanderbilt. Any of those games we're competitive in? Maybe Vanderbilt.
I think when I did the predictions with Will, I don't want to give all my predictions away for the SEC because they will be releasing. But I think I had Kentucky going 4-8.
That's 2 more games than I would have them. I honestly think we're going to lose to Toledo, Eastern Michigan, or some.
I think Will predicted y'all to lose to Toledo.
We might. We're only 11.5-point favorites last I saw to Toledo.
Well, y'all almost lost an early season game a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, to Chattanooga, but that team, we actually have a decent, semi-decent team. If we lose to Toledo this year, it's not really an upset.
Candle's still there. Jason Candle's still there.
Austin, please tell me what teams we're going to beat in the SEC. Can you name 4 teams in the SEC we're going to beat out of that list?
Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina.
That's 7 wins. You include Vandy?
I'm assuming. Okay. I was assuming the Louisville game or, if we're going to go beat Florida, we can beat Louisville. Possibly. But that's not even a gimme nowadays.
Aiden the Diesel Freak with a adios. With a final super chat of the night. Appreciate it, Caden the man. You can call back in next time we do a show. We appreciate it. It says, good night, idiots. And Darrell MVP is no professor. I don't think Darrell ever claimed to be, but you know what? He's one of the smartest guys I know on YouTube because most people, man, they just spewing all that hype, man. Darrell, he knows what's going on.
Yeah, I know what's going on. Listen, I'm not trolling, Jeffrey. I became a Tulane fan when Vince Merrill left Kentucky. So I'm rooting for John Summerall because he was a former Kentucky player, former assistant coach. I think that's best for us if Stoops gets fired. So I'm looking forward to watching Tulane and the American Conference. I'd like to see some team make a bowl game this year. I'd like to have some hope. Maybe for a conference championship, maybe a playoff spot. It'd be nice. And, G5 schools need a little more love and they need a little more attention. So Tulane's the perfect program to root for. So I'm going to be a Tulane fan this year. So expect a lot of green wave talk when I call in, okay?
See, here's the thing, Darrell.
You can join the Indiana bandwagon.
No. Jeffrey,
can I hop on to multiple teams? Can I be on multiple teams? Listen, I'll join anything as a refugee. Okay.
Yeah. Like people say I'm just, it's illegal that I do it. But I love Bama, and they're the best. And that's it'd be different if I was from Indiana and I liked Indiana first, and then became a Bama fan. Then I can understand the grift that people be saying I was doing. You know what I'm saying? The bandwagon fan. But I'm a Bama fan first. I started watching a second team that was complete trash, almost basically out of pity. Now they're good. I'm happy. It's awesome.
See, listen,
I'm not going to do you, Jeffrey, though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to migrate to you for a few years, build up my resources, then go back to my home country, okay? I need time. My place has been torn down. It's been in a war zone, self-inflicted civil war. So I need a place for asylum.
See, here's the thing, Darrell. We will welcome you with open arms. You see this big red bird here, right? I know it looks scary, but we will welcome you. We will brace you like you are our brother because we love you, Darrell. We will love you like you're one of our own.
Honestly,
love
that
you.
almost sounds like a cult invitation, but I'm not sure.
Because
No,
just
the
like
real you have to see the
man.
vision. Because I'm a
Jackson's
revolutionary.
It's like, I'm just
I'm a
like,
revolutionary. See, that's why I'm quarterback one here, Daryl.
you're a loner, you're a rebel, Dottie.
Yes, I'm a revolutionary.
Herman.
The future is meant to be with us, Daryl. We
Hey,
welcome it with
Jason, you
open
talking about
arms.
what I said or what he said? Like, who you talking about, man? I mean, it's gotta be Austin. It's gotta be Austin. I was getting a little bit of cult vibes. I mean, it's not. It ain't Jim Jones, but it's it was a little creepy.
Listen. All I'm doing is letting Daryl know he's got a spot in the Big Ville. That Jeff Brom and company will lead him the right way. That's all I'm doing, and we will hug him and we will let him know it's okay.
Hey, Burks wanted to give you a hug earlier. I'm just saying. So.
See, here's the thing. I don't swing that way. I'm talking about like a brother hug, like how you doing, bro? Not a.
I'm good, Austin. No thanks. I'll look. I'll explore my options, and I'm exploring my options on the transfer portal.
Indiana is a great place to hop on the bandwagon until Signetti retires, man.
I'm not. Well, let's not get too. I'm still worried. Your first year, but
Troy V says, "Come for the football talk, stay for the Kool-Aid, man."
well, let's talk a little bit some more about football, okay?
Oh, I know what Husker's talking about. I'm sorry, I know he's talking about. That's the Looney Tunes. That's the remember the hug him and call him George and all that. That's the abominable. You remember that? Oh my gosh, I love that, man. That is so.
Not the bunny rabbit
Pet him and call him George. And, oh my god. Oh, I love it. I love when I get a reference. I love it. Go ahead, Daryl.
I've scared Daryl away. It's okay.
Yeah, well, sometimes things are said that just leaves me speechless because I don't know how to make hard pivots. And this is one of those times. I don't think Jackson does either. That's why he turned his camera off. But
I told you, Jackson's done. He rage quit, man.
Look, Jackson's like, peace out, biatches.
I'm delirious at this point. I'm running on fumes at this point, man.
So,
adrenaline.
Okay, 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.
What?
I have no idea what he's talking
You talking
about.
Yeet? You talking about the musical Yeet guy?
No, 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.
Oh, there is a Yeet. I know there's like some guy. I mean, there's all these young people talking about this Yeet guy. Like I said, I like Rush better, man.
Oh my!
Go ahead, Daryl. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's past our bedtime.
In terms of Jeffrey, I'm not sure you saw this since you've been out of loop. You don't even know who the quarterbacks are for the teams.
Teams that are going to be bad, but yeah.
Well, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Thanks for the shot, Jeffrey.
Sorry, I'm just saying.
Did you see that Joe Klatt had the Big Ten commissioner on, and he introduced him to his 4-4, 2.5, 2.5, 1-2 model?
I did not see that.
You don't. All right. What are your thoughts on that model? Now I can explain what it means if the 2.5 confuses you.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear it all, Drew. I want to hear it perfectly explained.
Okay, 4 SEC, 4 Big Ten. Then you have the 2.5, 2.5, which is Big 12. ACC. What happens is the third best team in those leagues face off, and then the winner goes into the playoffs. The loser's out. That's why it's called 2.5, because one of them's in, one of them's out. And then you've got the 1, which is the group of 5 team, and the 2, which is the at-large teams, which will most likely be Notre Dame and some SEC or Big Ten team.
Yeah, I think I remember you mentioned that the other time. I think. Now, I'm just coming back to you. But the Big Ten, I did not hear about the Big Ten commissioner meeting with all that, but with Joe Klatt. But, yeah, my problem with that is that, I think I said last time, you have conferences that are not always going to deserve, like, multiple teams. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's the same.
2.5 is stupid because, I mean, it's just
2.5 men. is stupid.
Stupid. I mean, we're outthinking ourselves here. I feel like with all this talking.
Yeah.
Oh, I could ask you about Texas State. Did you see they joined the Pac-12 today?
Well, yeah, Texas State, man. I mean, the Pac-12 brand is so strong now that they have Texas State.
Yeah, that's the one that just put them over the top. You know, I thought the Big 12
like now they are a legitimate Power 5. Like it's ultimate. It's got them back, man.
Good grief.
Yeah, hey, listen, man, don't doubt the Bobcats. I mean, they what, the 10th best team in the state of Texas?
Yeah, 10. That's if you're lucky. Oh, man. It's such a joke to real. I mean, I understand why they kept the Pac name. I get it. I know why. Because the Pac is a better brand name, Pac-12 versus Mount West. But if you're taking all the teams from the Mount West and these other smaller conferences and putting them in the Pac, then it's the same thing. It doesn't elevate these programs. The only way it would is if they're now going to get more money for being in the Pac-12. And maybe their revenue bump will go up by like this much.
Right.
So much more richer now. Okay. So
that's what I was asking Mark about is why even do all this?
Honestly, it's a bigger waste of money to move all these other teams to the Pac-12, rebrand it, put all that stuff, than it is to take two teams, Oregon State, Washington State, put them in the Mountain West. It's cheaper. Or cost less.
Right. And then just call the Mountain West and have the Pac-12 just buy out the Mountain West name rights and whatever and just say it's the Pac-12. I think that would have been a cleaner move. It would have been easier. I mean, the best program that the Pac-12 has right now, and undisputably, in my opinion, is Gonzaga in basketball. I mean, that's
sad. Like, that is pathetic.
I mean, it's true. Is it undisputable?
Boise State is stronger than Washington State and Oregon State.
Right. Oh, yeah. Boise State, I think, in terms of football, I don't know how often, though, they're going to be in the playoffs every year. Like, I don't think
they haven't even been very good. I mean, like they've been solid enough, but like they haven't been to that level in like a decade practically at this point. You know, like back, in the Peterman days, like all that. Harsin was good. They were still really good, but they were kind of trailing a bit. Avalos was bad. Now they're up again with Danielson, but like they were kind of down for a few years. So like with no Genty, I mean, do people really think Boise's going to be a top 10 team again? No, like they're probably not even going to be in the conversation for any of that.
No, I think what most people are thinking is they're going to be an annual playoff team because of that G5 spot. And I'm not even sure if that's the case. Like Tulane's up there, Troy's up there, Memphis is up there. There's some legitimate other power or G5 teams that I think are going to be able to take their spot. I think more likely than not, Boise State's going to miss the playoffs. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. I mean, Boise's fine, but they're not going to consistently be there.
Right. Right. And
they'll be there some years probably, but not every year. I mean, why would they assume that? I mean, that's the thing. They assume this model is going to work. It's not going to work. I mean, you're going to have some years where the teams included are just bad. Because, again, you want to have two ACC. What if Clemson is like the second-rated team in college football, and the next best team in the ACC is ranked like 20th?
Well, that 20th team's going to get in because of representation reasons.
Yeah, but the thing is that can legitimately occur, right?
Yeah, I know.
And,
it's done.
And honestly, the ACC is not even the best example. The Big 12 is the better one to use. But I mean,
they're going to have unranked teams probably make it.
But these people that are constructing all this, they really think that's going to work. I mean, you're going to have like 8-4 or 9-3, like Iowa State or whatever is like ranked like 19th or 21st or whatever is your second team from the Big 12.
Right. This is why I'm just a favor of the 5+11 model all the way around. It's easier to understand. It makes more logical sense. The average fan gets it easier. You can control it because if you're in a lesser conference, just schedule somebody better, and then you're more likely to like it. Like if you're Arizona State, just schedule an SMU, schedule a Oklahoma, and then if you win one of those two games, win the rest of them, you'll probably be safely in as an at-large. Even if you lose your Big 12 title game, I mean, this stuff isn't hard. But
They'd be really mad if they did the 4+12, right? The 4 power conference team champions, and then the 12 at large. Then they'd be mad, like, oh, there's no group of 5 representation.
That would be better, though. That would just
4-12 would be the best.
Huh?
I mean, I hate it for the G5, I do, but they're not on the level anymore. Basically all of the good group of 5 teams are in the power now. Your Cincinnati's, your UCFs, all that, they're gone. They're in the Big 12. They're gone. So it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the Pac-12's gone. It is. I don't care. It's gone. You call it this all day long, but it's gone. So I mean, really, the 4-12 would be the best. And if somehow a Boise ended up being 11-1 and they sneaked in at like 11, fine.
Yeah, if they earn it, then that's fine. Even last year, I wouldn't be upset if somebody legitimately said, hey, we're in a 16-team playoff. We got this team we really don't know anything about. They did play the number 1 team on the road and lost by 3 points. Sure, they were shaky, but they won all their games. Are we going to put them in over a 7-5 team, 8-4 team? I mean, I wouldn't have a mind putting them in a 16-team playoff because it's, at that point, the 16th team, the 15th team can't win all. Like, they're going to expand March Madness, I believe, to 76 teams as well. And what's going to happen is you're going to have like a 12. I'm not trolling. I saw 12-22 South Carolina was projected to make the field in a 76 team bracket. And it's like, we just don't need to see that. I'd rather see the 30-1 Hofstra team or just some random gray team make it in the field. Because we know these mid-tier SEC and Big Ten teams can't win at all. Especially at the very back end of the positions. But that's the problem is we've expanded it too much and there's nothing we really can do about it.
I agree with that. I mean, I think the thing that frustrates me the most with people talking about expansion is that they'll look at basketball and say the 68-team playoff or the 68-team tournament and then use that as an excuse to expand football when football is not the same thing. You can't compare the two. But now
but a lot of people do because they don't care about the sport or they just want to.
People that don't care about the sport should not really offer their educated opinion on it, should they?
Well, those are the people I would say make the decisions, though.
I know, and that's why everything's screwed up. But they really shouldn't because they're not like us, Like even me being out of the loop because of life, ish, still know what's going on, and I still know it's ridiculous. Because, I mean, the thing is, basketball, you can have Hofstra in the tournament, and it's fine. But you can't have some random G5 team in football and expect it to work. It's not going to work. They're not going to win. Basketball, they have a shot to do like Loyola Chicago every now and then. Because basketball is a different sport. But the thing
I like it because the marketing of it, it's not about winning at all. It's about the Cinderella runs. If that's what they want to make college football and say, hey, we understand that it's not going to impact who wins the national championship, but for every 10 or 20 years, we're going to have some team win a playoff game that'll never win it, and we just want to throw them a bone. That's fine, but I feel like there's some deceptiveness going on here. Like I was talking to Levi Stevenson, he was genuinely arguing that the Big 12 has a legitimate chance to win the national championship. It's just that, it's everything's a conspiracy theory. The rankings are a conspiracy theory. The draft is everything's a conspiracy theory with that.
That like the NFL is what because Shedeur got drafted in the 5th round, despite the fact Cam Ward got drafted 1st overall. It's like, okay, what kind of argument is that? Shedeur didn't deserve to get drafted in the 1st round. Simple as that. But I mean, go ahead.
People have an agenda and they have an outcome they want to reach, and they're going to reverse engineer it. That's all it is with the same argument. I mean, people want to see, and this is why I don't like hardly any discussions, is I've realized most of these discussions are just bad faith. People want the SEC to be bad, so they'll root for whatever the SEC, I genuinely believe, tomorrow can advocate for their exact playoff structure. They would change their opinions because they don't like the SEC. Same thing with pro SEC people. If they change their opinion, they'll go with the crowd. Just they want to back whatever they represent because of their bias. It's like how some of us put in their favorite teams having the 4th best quarterback despite no real competition. That's just my opinion, though,
Sure. I mean, I thought I gave decent explanation for
I know, Jeffrey. I think your bias is... I think you're biased in the fact you saw him so much and you've looked at his tape and stuff that you've overanalyzed. I think that happens a lot. I do it too. I think everybody does. If people correlate seeing somebody a lot with them being good, it's just natural. Oh, I see this guy on TV all the time. and they talk about him, therefore he's good. I think that's some reason of why none of these West Coast teams or anything is going to win a Heisman, because they're never on TV. Like, why is the G5? Why did none of those players have a chance to win it? It's because they're never shown.
Yeah, Genty didn't win it.
Right. Even though he probably had the best overall
case.
season.
I said he should have won, but yeah.
Right, but the reason he wasn't even really considered was his level of competition. He couldn't prove it, except they weren't in game, and he wasn't shown on TV. That way, the average casual fan and voter could watch and understand how good he was compared to his competition. That's just my thoughts, though.
That's fair, Drew. Absolutely. My final thought on the 76 basketball fans, like you said, I mean, all the teams that are going to be in that final spot, those spots are terrible. I mean, like Indiana missed the tournament. Okay, cool. You know, like a 76 team tournament, they'd have got in, but like it still didn't change the fact Indiana wasn't good in basketball. It still didn't change the fact West Virginia. I mean, West Virginia had a case. They should have probably over the couple teams it did, but still, all those teams, none of them are great. You know, and then their case is, well, UCLA went from the first four to the final. It rarely had. VCU did all that stuff, but you can't justify 76 teams. The thing is, if they do expand to 76, it won't stop there. It'll expand again.
Right, I mean, and that's what I've been saying as well about
all these people want expansion for money, and that's it. And what irritates me, Darrell, is I would prefer if these people that are advocating for expansion would just say that. If they just went on a show and they were just like, we are expanding the NCAA tournament to 76 teams and the college football playoff to 16, 24, whatever, because of money. Kind of like when Mr. Krabs in the SpongeBob movie was like, I like money. Why are you opening the Krusty Krab too? I like money. Yeah, do that. If you did that, then I would actually respect you, because at least you're being honest. But when you go up there and gaslight people into these legitimate reasons of why this stuff should be expanded, no, they're not legitimate reasons. You're doing it because of money and money alone. That's what irritates me. They're not honest. And they try to make everybody.
I completely agree. If anything, I would like to see them expand the regular season game. Add another regular season game. I would be more in favor of that than expanding the playoffs. But people just want to expand playoffs because the word playoffs they think means instant viewership. When they're going to learn that playoffs don't mean that. It's people want to see the best teams with the best competition. And the word playoffs is synonymous with that. And once people learn that's not true, they'll just leave.
No.
That's my thoughts. Is Austin back, by the way?
I have no
right
idea.
here.
I was going to give him condolences for losing Michael Porter Jr. today. You know, it's been a rough day for a Nuggets fan. They lost one of their best players. I mean, you can argue they were one game away from winning the NBA title since they had a Game 7 against the Thunder where they looked like they were arguably the better team throughout that series. It's been a rough time for the Nuggets, so I just wanted to give some condolences to Austin.
I mean, here's the thing, Darrell. I'm upset that Porter had to go, but we did get Cam Johnson in return, which I'm looking forward to, which I won't spoil too much because it's funny enough, me and the man down here, Jeffrey, may do a free agency show later on next week, and I'll give my in-depth. Yes, I'll give my in-depth take on that.
That's fair. Still, my condolences because he was a key piece, part of that championship team. And I think he was one of the better players they had. Probably the fourth best player on that team. I mean, he was really something. But
yes, I'll always.
We're only how many days away, Jackson, from the season starting up?
Well,
60.
It's 1 a.m. my time, and it's Jeffrey's, Austin's, and your time. It's 2 a.m. So we're now at 53 days until week 0, 58 days till week 1, 59 days until Auburn, Baylor, Colorado, Georgia Tech, 60 days till week 1 Saturday, 61 days till Notre Dame, Miami, Virginia Tech, South Carolina, and 62 days until the start of the Bill Belichick era in Chapel Hill between North Carolina and TCU.
You know, I've heard him say that many times, and I still don't really have any of that memorized.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Jackson, it's unbelievable. I mean, it is legitimately unbelievable. Especially at 2:06 in the morning. He's still got it.
It's my job.
Guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you all, as usual. Thank you all for inviting me on.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I was a big advocate for it. I know they wanted to go to bed, and usually I am too, but it was a rare opportunity that I was able to hang out with you guys this late. So definitely glad we were able to bring you on. I appreciate you two again for bringing me on as well. I mean, I wasn't even supposed to be on tonight, but thank everybody, and Dan the Diesel Freak and Drill, we appreciate it. Thank you, Drill.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you all, guys, even though, this is going to be an exciting year of college football, in my opinion. The parity's never been any higher in terms of just the amount of questions at the top. So I'm looking forward to the season getting started. We're going to be starting soon with Media Day's coming up. Jackson, do you have the countdown for that?
Let's see. So 2 weeks from now is the SEC Media Days. That's July 14th through 17th. Next week is the Big 12 Media Days.
I was gonna call him out on that for saying the Big 12 so irrelevant. Jackson just skipped over them.
Well, not intentionally, but the Big 10 Media Days are the week after SEC Media Days, obviously. And I believe the ACC Media Days are at the same time as the Big 10 Media Days.
Oh, that's a mistake for the ACC right there. I mean, nobody's going to watch that compared to the Big 10.
Absolutely.
I'll watch.
I know.
It's kind of like Don Bluth putting All Dogs Go to Heaven out on the same weekend as The Little Mermaid. Big mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
What I just did there, that was like a random thing that Jackson would say. I was pulling a Jackson on that one.
Gimmick infringement, Jeffrey. For that, that's a $20,000 fine.
Jackson he's never mentioned All Dogs Go to Heaven. So I'm just saying it was just a random factoid from 1989. All Dogs Go to Heaven, a banger movie. It's got death and murder and Al Capone characters, but the movie was overshadowed by Little Mermaid.
Oh, Carface was mean.
I love that movie, man. That movie is so legit, man. That is
golly.
Last great Don Bluth movie. After that, he's starting to run out of money, starting to go downhill. But that early era of Don Bluth.
Oh man, it's he's a genius, man. I think he's on Twitter these days.
I think I froze it. I think I froze for a minute. But what I was saying was Don Bluth, those early films, man, were incredible. With Secret of NIMH, Land Before Time, American Tail, All I Was Gonna Heaven. Those were just great movies. Up there with Disney. The animation was incredible. But enough of that. We got maybe our last caller of the night, Minnesota Dave. Appreciate you for coming on amidst all the chaos tonight.
Oh gosh, that Dan guy is a treat. He is an absolute treat.
I know. He grows on you over time.
He was talking about how everybody needs to be go to Ohio and need to look at these hard hitting guys. I know all these kids. Are all hard hitting. Why don't we get hard hitting kids and recruit them? Dude, it's not fucking physical football anymore. It's not the same as it used to be, and you're not gonna get those kids that if they're hitting hard, make sure they're hitting the damn stern and not up on the top of the dang head. How many kids of those guys? Those kids got ejected out of high school football games because they targeted kids.
Yeah, so, I mean the days of Brian Bosworth are over. They don't allow that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean that the last guy that tried to be mean as heck was Aqib Talib, and they ran him off on the rails because he was later in the 2000s, 2010s. Earlier days Brian Bosworth. You go back to the old days, 40s, wood helmets or whatever. Dude, they always hit in the head. And, they call them draft dodgers all they want, but man, they hit hard, man. They hit. But now they've made the game more technical. It's not what it used to be.
It's no longer Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler 3 yards and cloud of dust football anymore.
No,
it's
absolutely
just not.
It's Dan, he needs to transport back to the 60s, man.
Oh shoot! I was watching it. You guys were talking about how there wasn't enough passing. I'm looking at passing total, like how many times passes were back in like even the 80s. Unless you had an absolutely like killer quarterback, no one was going over like freaking 20 times of a passing attempts.
Mhm.
You
Absolutely.
know, that was back in the 80s. So the 60s were even worse than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, over time, it slowly developed. You know, like I was watching with Will one time. Like, it was like a Notre Dame game versus, I think it was Indiana. He was showing that because, like, you know, he likes Notre Dame like Indiana. So we were watching a Notre Dame Indiana game for like 91, and like there was some throwing in that game. You know, like it wasn't like, you know, today, but you know, it was some throwing. I think Indiana had Trent Green.
Oh, they had one heck of a running back then.
Yeah. Oh, they ran the ball definitely because Indiana. I think Von Dunbar was still there. I think it was Von Dunbar. I don't remember Notre Dame's. Will was here. He would tell us in a heartbeat. But yeah, like both teams were throwing those somewhat. Like it was becoming more so. Like it took time, but you know now today you just see some teams. That's all they do is throw. Like LSU last year.
Yeah, it is. It's spread and throw and run on occasion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the new thing. There's Minnesota has, made their bread and butter as a running team, but last year was the first year they were passing probably way more than they were like throwing. All right, yeah, running. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my dyslexia.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what Luke Fickell was trying to do at Wisconsin, right? Like he was trying to open up the offense and change it, but it didn't work. So now they're like reverting back to a run team. I just, to me, unless you have a dominant O-line and a dominant running back and a semi-competent quarterback, you're not going to be able to do that and succeed in the modern era. You have to have a passing attack.
Yeah, and you're not going to get those kids to come to Wisconsin, those wide receivers. You might get a couple good tight ends, and that's what you're going to have to rely on for your passing attack, but you're not going to get the wide receivers. I mean, that's the reason why Iowa still freaking struggles. They don't have wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And a quarterback that can, I think. No, I was going to ask you guys about your quarterback thing. None of you guys put the Navy guy on.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good one, Jackson. That we missed, I believe. The Navy quarterback. I've seen some people say him on social media. I did oversight that one. I mean, at least honorable mentions. I still probably wouldn't put him in the top 10, but definitely.
Yeah, definitely would have put him on honorable mention. I would put him over the Nebraska guy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the issue I had on my list, I put too many guys that I guess were controversial higher up.
Blake Horvath.
I had to put.
Yeah, I remember him.
Like quarterbacks like Nussmeier in the honorable mention. What were you saying, Jackson?
Blake Horvath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really good. He's very talented, very athletic kid. He might not be a quarterback in the NFL, but he can definitely be like if they can probably switch him to maybe like a wide receiver or like a safety or maybe even a tight end, he'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
He's that athletic.
Absolutely.
The problem,
everybody's always go ahead.
The only problem with that was when you're drafting a Army recruit, you have to wait for them to get done with their service.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely, it just kind of complicates things. I think a lot of teams that they would like to have a guy like Taysom Hill that kind of does all that stuff, run, throw, tight end, but most teams don't incorporate a player like that. I mean,
no,
you could do that. Like every team could have like a gadget player that's like you could have like a running back who can also play receiver. You could have like a a tight end receiver-ish kind of guy. Or like a Taysom Hill who plays QB sometimes, is a tight end. He's like can be a running back. Do everything, but most teams don't really do it. I guess because it's too gimmicky. I guess. Because I mean, he can't be your actual QB. You know, he has to be filtered in, like has his own set of plays, his own.
Yeah.
Know. So it just a lot of teams just don't want to deal with that, I guess.
Oh yeah, and I mean, and you know, Tim Tebow killed his career in the NFL by demanding that he should be a quarterback when he was not a good quarterback at all. I mean, he was a good athletic player, and everybody wanted him to be like a tight end or a safety. You know, people forget that in Minnesota, Tony Dungy was the quarterback here, and then he went to the NFL and he ended up being a safety because he just wasn't good at throwing the ball enough and accurate at all. But he was more, you know, that option quarterback, which is a huge thing back in like the 70s and 80s, and pretty much all of college football was the option until like the 90s hit.
Absolutely. It's crazy to think like, you know, the option now is basically just the service academies. Georgia Tech did it back in the, you know, Paul Johnson era, but they stopped. But yeah, it's on. You know, I mean, you still see the service academies, but even they're like opening it up more. Like I was watching in one of their games. They one of them, I think it was Army, it was one of them, but they threw like 15, 20 times. I mean, it was insane. Like, I don't know. I mean, option, you know, the I formation, all that stuff was such a big deal, you know, back then. And like up until probably the last 15 to 10 years or so or whatever, like that's what people thought of when you thought football. And now people think football, like people younger than me, and that's not what they think of. Like they know football as what they see air raid, you know, throwing it 50 times, that kind of stuff. Spread offense. That's what they
Spread
think.
offense, wildcat plays.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that, you know, football, like the complete perception of it has changed in 15 years.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
When I was a little kid, I mean, I knew football as, you know, you still had option, but it was going away. But like, you know, you had all like the old clips that they would show on like ESPN and stuff, you know, like the old games or whatever, and you saw all that. But like the new stuff was coming around, so I was kind of like on that verge of it was becoming modern, but you still like knew of it as the old style, and you saw it incorporated a lot. But now, like I said, you know, people born after like 2010, I mean, it's been spread. It's all spread. They don't know anything else other than that. So that, you know, someone like, you know, Mark Rogers or anybody of that time, you know, talking about football, you know, and how it was, that, you know, young people just aren't going to understand it. Like they won't believe unless they watch it on YouTube that that's how football used to be, which is crazy.
Yep. T formation and all that type of stuff. This is gone.
Wild.
But and actually using your halfback. Remember that's all gone. They don't even have halfbacks anymore. That's a dead position.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember when I was younger, the fullback still was used. Like Green Bay had like John Kuhn. You know, he's a big deal. You know, there's a few fullbacks. I think the Panthers had a fullback that they used sometimes. Forgot his name, but back like early Cam Newton. But I don't remember. But like you had like some fullbacks still. That's basically gone. No one really has a fullback anymore.
Yeah.
You'll see more often they'll like move an O lineman and let him in the play where he can catch a pass, you know, versus having a fullback.
So you and Darrell were talking about playoffs. Man, I have a lot to say, but be repeating basically what Darrell is saying. You know, gosh, why didn't we do this a long dang time ago? It will always puzzle me. You know, there were so many chances to do this, and I mean, we would have a 16 team or at least a 12-team playoff like back in the 90s or even the 80s. I would have loved to seen it. You know, conferences didn't want the NCAA that involved, and now the conferences have basically, you know, well, killed the NCAA and killed all the other sports along with it. I think the NCAA has very little to no control anymore. I don't even know what the heck is going on with Michigan right now. So they're having a problem with their with an assistant coach with sexual harassment.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean it's bizarre. Everything that's going on. Yeah, the NCAA I don't think has a lot of control at all. I mean, it is a cluster. That's all I can say. It is bad. So much stuff going on is crazy. I mean, you even you're hearing like other sports, softball and all this, where they're like tampering. It's like, of course, it's NIL era. What do you expect? Like,
Yeah.
Oz bidder. I mean, it's like an auction.
Yeah.
But the players are like an auction.
Yeah. The sad part is they needed to do, and if I don't know if it should be the NCAA, but what they should have done a long time ago is like they at least should have like set it up like to have like, okay, we're gonna pay the players, but this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna have a salary cap. You can only place, a player can be only make so much, and then or he has to go to a different school or something like that. Still like I mean they have now. I'm even hearing that isn't there NIL with baseball and softball and all the other sports, and it's like, why is there NIL for even these sports? I mean, there's not huge drawings, but you have to be fair.
Mm.
I
mean, I've had the argument with so many people, like, you've had like the women's basketball players and stuff get mad and say, oh, we don't make nowhere near what the NBA players make. Well, you don't, because you don't bring in the interest. If you had the fan interest, the amount of support the NBA had, then you would be making $50 million a year, but you don't because the money's not there. You can't make money out of nothing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have no interest in women's sports. Or at least I don't have any interest. Should say I don't have any interest in the WNBA all that much, and I never really. I mean, basketball is my least favorite of all the American sports. I can watch college basketball if if the Gophers are good, and I'll watch the tournament, and that's it. I've never really had that much of an interest. I've always been more of a hockey guy. Now I have gone to like softball games for women's softball, and have gone to sports I played, like soccer. I gone to women's soccer events, and they're fun, but they're just it's just not going to be a huge draw unless you have a really really good team.
Absolutely. Yep. And it's just frustrating that people don't understand that and they complain about it, and there's nothing you can do. I mean, LeBron makes what he makes because the NBA makes a lot of money. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, then they wouldn't. NFL players don't make as much as the NBA. Well, it's because there's more players.
I mean,
the interest is there. The NFL, they make a ton of money, but there's more players. They can't pay them as much as they do the NBA because there's less of them.
Yeah, and you can even say with hockey, there's less players. In the NHL has a salary cap, and like I said, salary caps I feel make everything competitive. I mean, ever watch European soccer, like the European soccer leagues? I don't know how big you are into that, but probably not so much.
I can't say I watch it frequently.
Well, European soccer it's a free-for-all. They don't have a salary cap, and all these teams will spend a shit ton of money. It's almost like the way the Yankees were run back in like the 90s and the early 2000s. Get any player you basically can, and they all do this, and it's the same goddamn teams every year that are winning the goddamn league, and it's boring. And it's just, I don't want college sports to end up like that either, where you can have a bunch of teams only being able to afford all these guys. I want to be at least competitive. I don't want us to go through another year. As much as you're a Bama fan, I don't want to see Bama always win the goddamn thing.
I mean, fair. I mean, I even said that back when Bama was winning every other year, back in 2019, 2020. I was telling people hey, I'm glad Alabama is winning titles. It's awesome, but it'd be cool to see some other teams do it. And
I mean,
Alabama hasn't won in 5 years, but the thing is that you don't want to see Georgia and Bama and Ohio State and Texas or whatever. That's it, and and there's no other good teams. It's not to say there's no other good teams, but there's no other teams that can compete on that level. Yes, you want to see competition. You would like to see Minnesota and Ohio State, and there's a chance. There's a fighting chance, because every year it's the same. Ohio State destroys everybody. Which, I mean, now Michigan got better and is beating them, and and Penn State's tried, but they can't get over the top. And now you've added Oregon. I mean, there's Godfather's laughing, and Jason was laughing on it, said Texas. But I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I like teams, that are always good, and that's fine. Like, that's great that they're always good and they're consistent. Like with Bama, like I'm glad that ever since the team I grew up loving when I was a kid, because of my family, like they're always good, and that's awesome. And I'm glad I've got to see them win multiple titles. But when other teams have no shot, like you're a fan of Minnesota, you're a fan of Indiana, you're a fan of Baylor and Vanderbilt, and you've got literally no chance, like none. You're just
you have your years where you can compete and you still come up short. You just, that's the thing. And then you go back, you lose that class that got you there, and then you have to restart all over again, and it might take you a lot while to figure out those pieces again. That's been the problem with like Minnesota and even the ones that have won the Big Ten before, like Wisconsin and Iowa. It's the same problem. They have their years where they hit a certain point, and then they can't get over that other hump. But I'm gonna let you go because I have to really go to the bathroom, and you guys look tired out and pretty much dead.
My other two like co-hosts here, I was kind of a guest on this show, but Austin and Jackson, they're just done.
Well, it's nice talking to you, Jeffrey. It's nice talking to you guys.
Appreciate it, Dave.
I'll give you another call when you ever have the chance. I always watch the show as much as I can. So
I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Have a great night, Dave.
Oh, man. And
I think we can wrap the show up, Jackson.
Yep, I guess we can.
Sorry about that, man. I was not expecting to go on, but man,
I didn't think we would either. But
I was gonna go to bed. Like, I was just gonna watch y'all's show, hit the sack. And I was like, hey, come on!
I didn't even think we'd get wild super chats. Well, man, it was like
Dan is one of a kind. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh man!
And I know he's gone, but we appreciate all the super chats, Dan. And appreciate the super chat, Godfather, with the most sane comment tonight. Roll Tide.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate everybody that was here tonight. Absolutely a blast. It was a great time. It kind of felt like the old days, right? We used to do these 3-hour live streams. You go back and look at our channels from years ago. It's crazy to say years ago at this point. Right?
I know, right?
Years ago, and we had these 3-hour streams. They're not going to be on a regularity. Definitely not going to be on a regularity. But glad we were able to do it tonight. But you want to wrap us up, Jackson, or you want me to do it?
Oh, we can wrap it up, and we can just tell everybody where we can find us. You can check out Jeffrey on Only Talk Sports at Only Talk Sports. Let's get him to 3,000 subs. This man has most certainly earned the right to get to 3,000 subs. Let's get him there. And you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I have my episodes of the Jackson, including my latest episode with Samuel Recker of College Football with Sam. And we talk quite a lot about who is the most likely to get their first national title as a head coach. Will it be Dan Lanning? Will it be James Franklin? It's not Brian Kelly or Lincoln Riley. But will Sark get that natty? It's all right there. It's all right there. Will Dan Lanning get it? We'll definitely wait and see. Oh, man. And you got the 44th edition of Crimson Tide Live, where it's Coach Birch, Jeffrey, and myself going over our take on the latest news and notes on the Crimson Tide, including being joined by Florida State Live co-host and Florida State Wire writer and Blogging with the Boys writer, Matthew Lennox, to join us for an early season preview of the Florida State-Alabama matchup. And it's a fun one, that's for sure. We had so much fun. And let me tell you something. You're going to love what Jeffrey's got, including on his record predictions for the Alabama Crimson Tide for 2025 on Only Talk Sports. And you can check out Austin's videos with the 2025 Rams season preview, where he talked with Ty Hudson about the Rams. He talked about the Texans with Justin Adams from Nebraska at the Voice College Football. And he's been talking with Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports and Alabama at the Voice College Football about the Carolina Panthers. With that being said, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bells to each of our channels so you never miss no video or whatsoever. And we will see you soon. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.